Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck to Sim live stream. Today it's the 11th of January 2021, 33 minutes past 8 in the evening in the United Kingdom. Once again, it's been a while. We're back in the resplendent Microsoft Flight Simulator. Have a look at that scenery. Absolutely beautiful. We are in the absolute top of Northwest America in Alaska. Will Bewley, who's saying, I hope you'll enjoy this flight to Canada today. Well, we're not actually going to Canada. You're going to make yourself look a little bit silly today. Alaska is part of the United States of America, and we're doing a domestic sector in Alaska today. So yes, I hope you're doing very well. We have lots of people in the house today. Dave Hagen, Andy M71A guy. Bert Fella says your membership's gone unless our subscription's gone wonky. It happens all the time. A lot of people get timed out each month and then have to come back in again. So hopefully we'll get that sorted ASAP. Get you back into Discord. Nice to be in a different part of the world as well. First ever time in Alaska ever on a live stream. But what 50, makes today 40, quite special is 30, the fact that we're using 20, a new aircraft for the first time. I have never flown any sort of jet in a stream before, let alone one in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Thank you very much at Kuchipolo2 for the £2. Hello Captain, hope all is well. Hope you're wearing a proper attire to fit the surrounding environment. Looks kind of chilly. Take care as always. Thank you very much at Kuchipolo2. Yes, I'm in my Thurskin lined coat for this sector. As I was saying, yes, the first ever time today we are in a Learjet, but not any old Learjet. We are in something called the working title CJ4 Cessna Citation mod. Now, sort of like the Project Fly, not Project Fly, whatever the one is called for the A320, I don't even know what it's called now. This is a small team that has basically taken the default Cessna Citation, improved it quite a bit, and then released it for free. But I downloaded this yesterday and first saw it today. Now, I was absolutely flabbergasted at actually how good it is. It has LNAV, it has VNAV, it has a working FMS, albeit not complete at the moment. Accurate fuel burn, it's really, really nice. It feels very different to the default one, but in a good way. So it's really nice to see how good it is. It was so good, in fact, that I was just wanting to stream it straight away. I was like, yep, today I'm going to stream it immediately. So the sector I have chosen is, we're in Anchorage today, and we're going to be going to, I hope I pronounced it correctly, is Juneau. I think it's pronounced Juneau or Genoa or something like that. So yeah, sector's going to be an hour or 30 minutes or so. What we're going to be looking forward to today, though, is a non-precision approach, RNAV approach, which I tested this sector earlier, works completely fine. But today could be quite interesting because the minimums are quite high on this approach, and the weather isn't that great in Juneau. At the moment, they've got rainy, snowy, sleet, low cloud base. Probably going to end up diverting if we follow everything by the book today, but I'm going to take plenty of fuel so we can at least have a go at a couple of approaches, and then I'll probably hold some sort of poll to decide what our plan of action would be if we can't get into Juneau. We might have to end up actually diverting to Canada, going to somewhere called Whitehorse, which is our alternate here. Juneau, it's pronounced Juneau. I think Juneau. Everyone's going crazy in the chat here. So yes, the working title Cessna Citation. Go check it out. You just simply drop it into your Flight Sim community folder. It comes with some really cool documentation and how to do the setup here. I am by no way an expert on this aircraft. It's been in my Microsoft Flight Simulator library for less than 12 hours. I've only flown it once, so you guys are going to have an awful lot of fun watching me try to fly this, but using my real-world experience, hopefully we'll get there safe and sound. But yeah, you can see already in Microsoft Flight Simulator how awesome is this. Covered in snow, in the apron, and yeah, cold and dark. I've not done anything except load into simulator. We're on some sort of, I think it's the cargo aprons here, but it's not any form of payware scenery or anything. So anyway, I'm going to stop chatting now. I'm going to jump into the aircraft. We've already got two people admiring us. This is Alpaca Executive, of course, our new line. And we have 7 high fare paying passengers to take on our way to Juneau. Right, let's jump into the cockpit. It sounds like it's raining or snowing by the sounds of it, although I can't really see it here. Listerman said cold and dark as well. Atomic Boy, there's no ILS at Juneau. No, there's not. There's an LDA approach and an RNAV approach. We're flying the RNAV approach because it has lower minimums. That I think will definitely be needing it today. Perfect. Right, so I have a little checklist or guidance here. Now, I've set this stream up so I can show you all the different documentation here. So I've got the PDF here, which is included with the download here. It's like a standard operating procedures here. It just gives you some very basic guidance. But the checklist, they've included the real checklist as it is in the real aircraft, I think, in the MFD. So we'll be following that here. But I'll have this open throughout the stream on my second monitor just to give me some rough guidance on how to fly it. As I said, I have no experience flying business jets, let alone one which requires, I think, a type rating. So I'll keep that up and running throughout the stream so you can make reference to it. We're going to do all the briefings as realistically as possible. Taxi, SIDS, approach briefings later, and yeah, we'll just see how we get on. Right, so what's the first thing I think I need to do? I need to get some power on this aircraft. So I don't think it has an APU. I think you have external power to be connected to this aircraft, but there we are. It's already alive. Turn the music down a little bit there. There we are, so the battery's on. Now, to get this little checklist up, bear with me, I think we have to go upper menu here. And all of it, I don't think you get any of this with the default aircraft. How do I... There we go, checklist. Checklist menu, let's get rid of that one. Before starting engines. There we are, so here's the checklist we're going to follow to get the aircraft configured. No APU on the CJ4, thanks Alex. Yes, don't ask me any questions about this aircraft, go check the mod out itself and Wikipedia as well for all your technical knowledge of this aircraft. I think it has no APU, you have to either rely on a battery start or some sort of external power start. Hopefully that's modelled. Perfect. Does the sim have a shared cockpit feature? I don't think so at the moment, Eggerfee10. Felix puts the avionics to dispatch. Yes, I think the checklist tells me to do that shortly. So battery is on. Emergency exit lights are armed. I don't know if that's modelled yet. I think it was down here, that switch earlier. I remember seeing it though, and it said in op at the moment, but I'm sure in time that'll be working, so I'll imagine that's done. But out of curiosity, I just want to know where it is. Great. Second item, can't even find it. Oh, it's here, I think. There we are. Emergency exits. It's in op, look, but it's in the arm position already. So we'll imagine that's sat aside. Standby flight display switch on. Where was that switch? I don't think that one was modelled either because the standby flight instrument is already on, so we'll imagine that is done. I'm just pressing B to set the local pressure. I'm offline today, no VATSIM or Microsoft Flight Simulator Online. You imagine the carnage that would ensue. Avionics switch to dispatch. There we are. That lets me load up the FMS. A master caution for something or other. Avionics switch is in dispatch, so that's done. Parking brake is set. Wheel chocks, I imagine, are removed. Cabin doors closed. Passenger briefing complete. So I think there's a little switch here. Or no, I think they've got basically. Let's do our passenger briefing. So if we go here to upper menu, we'll go back to the checklist shortly. Passenger briefing. Escape. Let's do the. We've got takeoff, long, short, landing, turbulence, passenger safety. Let's do the safety briefing. just for a bit of immersion. Jim, go give the passengers their safety briefing.
May I have your attention, please?
It's cool, isn't it?
At this time, please comply with the illuminated seat belt and no smoking signs. Thank you.
There you go. Thanks, Jim. Jim's having to do everything. We don't have any cabin crew on board today. Back to the checklist then. We got to that. Yes, we did that one. So escape, starting engine. So I think I'll load the FMS first, and then we'll start the engines here. So here is our little FMS. It's based off the real FMC, but I think they said in the training it's about 75% complete at the moment. But there's loads of features here. It has a working VNAV. It's a very basic. I think it's based off a fixed descent path of 3 degrees, but it does comply with descent restrictions. So it's really nice to see that they've modelled quite a bit here. So status. There's the POS init page now. Let me bring up the flight plan for today. There we are. PDF. Here we go. So Golf Foxtrot Delta Tango Sierra. You can see here. Oh, that's so annoying. I have to click out the sim here. Updated this flight plan this morning. Not much has changed in the weather. It's going to take us about an hour 30 minutes today. Look at the fuel amounts compared to what we're used to, even in the 737. Look, I only need 1.4 tons to get to Juneau, and our alternate, we only need 500 kilos to get to, which is this place in Canada, which I forget its name, Whitehorse. Very likely, as I said earlier, we might be going there today. Now, I'm not going to be messing around. Business jets, you know, the passengers are paying us well. I'm going to take as much fuel as possible. I'm not going to even mess around. I'll probably just take 1,400 kilos if I was taking this aircraft for real, to save a bit of fuel here. Now, I've already loaded up everyone, all the passengers and crew, a bit of baggage, and you can see I put as much fuel on already. Look, 89, you go to 90, we're already above the max landing weight, maximum takeoff weight, and I've done this practice sector with 89%, and that means we land just below our max landing weight with a good hour on top of our alternate fuel, which I will definitely need today. So the fuel we've taken is the sum of this, about just over 2.3 tons. Oh, I'm sorry, I know you can't see that there. We can't see the weights, I forgot. 2.3 tons, we need 1.3. This thing's burning 500 kilos an hour, so we've got nearly an extra 2 hours of fuel on top, so it's more than enough petrol. So that's all loaded in. Sorry about that, that's me being a pro streamer here, completely forgetting. Thanks Boz, yes, hashtag real streamer, excellent. So the fueling's done. Let's get rid of this. Burak, is there a freezer in the cargo hold? Brilliant. I don't think you'd actually get one in. So I was testing this sector earlier. When I went to put the airport in, it didn't accept it, but on the flight plan page, I'll try again now, see if it is working. But Papa Alpha November Charlie, I kind of like it because it's very, it's sort of similar to the FMS in a 7.3, but it won't accept it there for some reason. I don't know why. I can put this in here though, at least, but it does accept it in this page, which is the important one. So we're going from PANC to Juneau. Airport code is PAJN. There we are. Max Collin, just Google working title Citation CJ4. Yeah, you check it out. I hope they get some exposure from the stream, because it is a really, really nice little aircraft, this. So, 495 miles. Departure arrivals. We're going to be departing from runway 33 today. The SID's going to be a no-end 4. And we'll then go to the flight plan page, next page. And then from no end, it's direct to Juliet Oscar Hotel. I must stress as well, if you are a CJ4 pilot, this is a work in progress, but I do believe there is a CJ4 pilot involved with the mod itself, so that's a good sign. But they did stress, you know, it is still a beta, still a lot of work to do, but compared to the default one, it is leap years ahead. There's the Yak VOR. And then from Yak, we're going to be going direct to Echo Foxtrot. Thank you very much to Joshua Feltimo, who's just joined as a member. Welcome aboard, buddy. Glad you joined the content. You'll get invited to our members-only Discord. Enjoy your custom emojis and chat as well. Thank you very much. Right, so there we are, direct to Echo Foxtrot. There's no arrival into Juneau, so we're going to be flying an RNAV approach runway 08, and the transition we're flying today is via the Nimley transition after Echo Foxtrot, which is the arrival essentially for this approach there. So that's all in. I'm going to execute that now. Go to the legs page, just check for any discontinuities. All I want to do is bring Nimley after Echo Foxtrot. That's executed. So that's done. We just need to do the performance. So performance initialization. So we're going to cruise at 41,000 feet today. There we are, 410. Now this zero fuel weight, it's all in pounds, unfortunately. Nothing against our US friends, but it means we're going to do some conversions. So what we've got here is the...
50,
we're going to work
40,
out the zero fuel weight.
30,
So I'll get my
20,
calculator out for this.
10.
Oh, Burak, where does this come from? 50 quid. Burak.
Looks like Waters left the freezer's doors open again.
Burak, where's that from? That's crazy. Thank you very much for the £50 donation, buddy. Burak's been a long-term member on the channel, best friends with Tim Waters, and he's commenting on the fact that Waters left the freezer's door open again. Brilliant. That's probably why it's so cold outside. Brilliant. K217. Hello, I'm the CJ4 pilot from WT, the whatever this I can't remember this week. It's called the working title. Here to help if you have any questions. K217, guys, go check him out because I watched a couple of your videos very briefly to get a little bit of guidance on how to fly this. So I will be very much. Go to index mod settings. Oh, look, we're already getting assistance here. Thank you so much. Oh no, it's going to be really embarrassing because I've got no clue how to fly this. All right, let's see if I can work this out then. Go to index. Mod settings. Where's that? Oh, it's on the second page. Ooh, I didn't see this before. Ah, beautiful. Oops. Something's not happy.
Oral warning, okay.
I'll turn all that off, and I should think I need to have the ground power unit on. There we go. Otherwise the wee battery will be going very flat quickly. Thank you. Fantastic. So now that'll be far easier to work out things. At least finally a developer has realised that there's other parts of the world. Thank you so much. Right. Performance. Let's go to performance initialization. That's better. So zero fuel weight. Well, we've got the empty weight plus the passengers. So what I'm going to do is just take our total weight, which is 742 minus the fuel, which is 1163 minus 1163. So our zero fuel weight's 5416. There we are. Gross weight 7742. So I guess I could have used these here, but that's at least got the correct zero fuel weight. I don't want to make too many changes here. Is this a Zebo Star mod? Very much ran zero along those lines with the improvements that have been made on this thing. It's really nice. Sounds like it's going to be wet. Temperature right now in Anchorage, it is -4. Now, does anyone know if cold temperature corrections or altimetry error is from cold temperatures modelled in Microsoft Flight Simulator? Because I'd be quite interested to know. Funny enough, it's now in QNH, but I actually want the inches of mercury, because the METAR is in inches of mercury. Oh dear, what's that going to be then? 2885 in reality. Oh, it does actually convert it on my phone here. 977, I think, is the actual barrow. How much is this plane? It's completely free. Alright, there's the QNH in. Next page. Anti-ice on. I'm going to use flat 15. And we've got V speeds. Yeah, I think these are calculated based off your gross weight. I'll just press send. There we are. And that punches them into the PFD, but I have the avionics switch off here. So, what I'm going to do... Well, can you set up a command for the link for this awesome mod, Max? Or just type in Google working title Citation CJ4, top link. There you go. But I should have, in hindsight, put a link here. But I'll update the video description afterwards to provide a link here, because it is a lovely aircraft. Right, so I've probably missed out several steps here. Eric Bright sold. Right, what have I got left to do? Where's our little checklist here? Starting engines, right. So throttles idle. Well, imagine we've got our clearance then. Just before I start the engines here, let's have a little look at the charts, do a bit of briefing. There we go. So, got Navigraph running here in the background here. We're right in the corner here in Anchorage. So here's all the airport info and charts. So there's a little cargo apron here. I looked on Google Maps to see where there were some biz jets, and I couldn't find any, but there's a lot of DC-3s parked here, an old school looking aircraft. So we're going to be going from here, taxiing Whole Point Runway 33 and blasting off there. Weather right now, I'm not online, so there's no METAR, but if this flight goes successfully, I will hopefully fly this again soon on VATSIM. I think there was already people flying this on VATSIM, but I'm waiting for my radio tuning panel, because the radio tuning panel is in the FMS, and it's a bit fiddly if you're on VATSIM to do this. So right now in Anchorage, wind's calm, Visibility 10 statute miles, overcast at 7,500 degrees, -4. That's it, really nice, albeit very, very cold. 737 people watching, how befitting. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button, that's an awful like to amount of people watching ratio. That makes sure that so many people get to see this working title mod on my channel. It's great, thank you. So yeah, the SID then. No, that's for later on. Here's our RNAV SID then. So I'm not sure what the level of capability of this aircraft is. I'm sure it's more than capable of flying RNAV departures and RNAV approaches, etc. I'm sure it has RNAV 1 capability anyway. So we're going to be departing runway 33. A little bug I noticed on testing here. This is a conditional waypoint after departure. So basically it says climb on runway heading 329 to 652 feet, then left turn. What this aircraft does, it doesn't turn or command the turn at 650 feet. It actually has programmed this as a waypoint, and it waits until it's overhead that waypoint and then the turn to Anchorage. So I might just follow the nav profile, wait until we're at whatever height it is at this waypoint, and then let it route there. Once we get, well, why am I in here? I should be checking this against the FMS. Oh no, I can't because the engines aren't running. But we'll check it shortly. But at least I can check the legs page. You can see it has here. Look, let me move the FMS. It's all the wrong way. I usually have it. Unfortunately, because I don't have Avitab, I can't see where the charts are in relation to the FMS. But you can see, look, we've got Anchorage at or above 3,000. We're then going to Liffey. That's a max 230 knot speed restriction. Now there's no auto throttle on this, so you have to kind of manage the speed yourself. So we'll just use flight change to pitch for 230. We then go to outer, which checks at or above 6,000. That's coded. Let's go to the next page. Craft 8,000 above, Rammer 10,000 above, no end 12,800 feet above. Lovely. So that's all coded here. There's obstacles on the departure, so don't hit them. And that's it. That's what we're going to be flying today. Right, let's get the engines up and running and go from there. How are you doing, Plane Ben? Can you turn the avionics on and check it now that you have external power connected? I did connect the external power in the options here in the FMS, but when I did the test sector, I didn't. And I was ages on the ground, so I don't know if they're modelling battery usage or anything like that, but I'll keep that page open actually, because once we're engine started, I want to actually get rid of ground power, and it was under mod set. There we are. So we'll keep that open for the engine start, and then we'll follow the checklist. So throttle's idle, engine starter button push. It's making noise. Now I don't know at what N2 percentage I put the engine to run. I mean in the 7.3 it's up to 25%, but that seems to take a little bit longer here. I think 20% should be more than enough, and then you move this switch here to engine run. Can you hear that in the background? There we are. Temperature's increasing, oil pressure, turbine temperature. I don't know if these are default sounds. 20%, 20%, 25%. Whatever it is in this aircraft, I don't know. Sounds like it started though. I'm gonna have to get this Alaskan man who's very brave, not wearing a hat, to give us a pushback shortly. Can you turn the music off? I'll turn it down a little bit, and then for takeoff and approach I usually turn it off completely. These are a bunch of totally new sounds, very cool. Okay, 2017, you can click the run button immediately, then FADEC handles the ignition timing. Very cool. It's awesome that I've actually got someone who drives this thing for real. Very good. In that case then, I'll just press run on this one. Is that going to work? Is that a mod thing, or have I missed a step? Or is that the real aircraft? Let me do as I was told before. I don't know if that's working properly in K217. I pressed it, but it didn't want to start by the looks of it. You forgot to engage the engine starter. You need to turn on the engine starter first. Whoops. Like I said, this is the first ever time. I'll just follow the instructions then. There we go, 20%. Oh dear. No, engine starter, immediately press run. Ah, okay. Well, I've got them running, that's the important thing. Anyway, that sounds like I've got 2 good engine starts. So I've done that. Opposite engine start. Looks like it's all running. You forgot the 4-watt switch. Oh no, I've got to have a lot of... Also beacon light, yeah, true, oh dear. Packs off. Anti-cold on. Remember, this is not a 737, guys. Uh-oh. I don't know where the master caution is as well. Right, well, it looks like I've got 2 good engine starts, so... I'll tick the checklist items. Look at that, burning 240 kilos an hour. Very, very nice. Why is that? I just realised the engines were very high there. My goodness me. Yeah, the throttles weren't idle. That's strange because it was on my control column, but I think it might be due to the fact my Xbox controller turned off the views. Right, we check for rise, ICAS check, opposite engine start, external power disconnect. Off. There we are. Right, electrical systems check. Now, how do I bring that up? I think it was upper menu, systems, escape. Wow, battery's charging. Got DC in voltage. Got hydraulic pressure because I know that checks that later. That's better. We're burning 68 kilos of fuel now. That's much better. There we are. All looking good. So back to the checklist. How am I doing based off my 12 hours experience with this aircraft and 1 flight? Right, checklist done. Check the electrical systems. Checklist complete. Before taxi, avionics switch on. Ah, there we are, to life. Now there's all my V speeds, which I programmed in the FMS earlier. Now what I just want to do here is turn this on to... put this to present position. That you get a much better display here then below the PFD. If I can remember how to do it. There we are. Enter. There we are. So you get that way you get an overlay of your map much better. I don't need to fiddle with any of this later on until later on. So we'll escape. No, not that one. No, that's a different menu. So leave that one. We want escape on here. There we go. Not using any nav aids for departure, but you can tune them. All the frequencies you need are here, so we're not using VATSIM today. We'll put the TCAS, we won't do that until we technically line up there. I'll give myself a random squawk, 1, 2, 3, 4, and ADF we're not using for departure, so that's all tuned. Right, before taxi checklist, you can press the FRMT button without having to go through the menus. Oh my goodness, K217. Oh, I could have done with you. Oh, I could have done with speaking with you prior to this stream. Thank you. Superb. Right, for taxi. Avionics switch on. Climate control selector to normal. Ooh, okay, there's some air conditioning. I guess it's very Airbusy. You know, air conditioning systems all automated. Trims. I'm just going to put the... I don't know how to calculate trim at all, so I'm going to put it in the green band. There we are. Flaps come shortly after. Flight controls check. So you can't actually see the joysticks. We'll go outside for this. Elevator. Mirror on. And... all looking good. Bjorn de Jong, he should fly the 737 Zibo in X-Plane. I guess you're new to my channel. I've been involved with the Zibo project from pretty much the start there, providing feedback to Zibo. I am the Zibo equivalent feedback as to K217 is. K217, and you'll probably want the cross-pointed flight director like the 73. It's available in the PFD menu. Yes, please, because I don't like the V things, V, if I'm honest. I'll have a look at that later. Flight controls check then. Speed brake checked. Flaps we want 15 for departure. Even though we could probably do it with flaps up. So there they are, 15. Hydraulic pressure checked. We saw it was 3,000 psi. Engine only anti-ice. Now, based on the fact it's -4 and there is snow on the ground, you know, we are in kind of freezing conditions. So I will use engine anti-ice. And because Microsoft Flight Simulator only gives you 2 options for icing, which is either none or severe, I'm going to turn the wing anti-ice on as well. Just to save my bacon with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Takeoff date is confirmed. Avionics set. Autopilot. Engage and disconnect.
Autopilot.
I love all the custom sounds on this, it's wicked. We better set this to runway heading, which, I'll have a quick look at the charts here. Runway heading is 329 degrees. And the SID stop altitude, I think it was flight level 200. Accept radar vectors on direct next 6 after no end. Maintain flight level 200. So we'll use 200 as the stop level today. So altitude 200. Guys in chat, if you obviously it's quite a high workload phase at the moment. If you do have any questions or anything, I will have much more time once we're airborne to answer anything here. I am looking though. Put the autopilot disconnect bar back in the up position, or it won't engage again. Thanks. Same as the 7.3, but that's actually really difficult to notice that. You already saved my bacon about 3 times. K217, brilliant. Autopilot's checked then. Altimeter's set checked. Pressurization verify set. I think I have to go to system menu for that. ICAS checked. After divider doors latched open. These I have no clue about, guys. Check this complete, except for taxi. Exterior lights as required. So, let's get pushback first. I'm going to use Yacht Faithful of Shift and P. It works! Here he comes. Now, I've just turned the sounds down slightly in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's quite loud, I think. Release the parking brake. There we are. Oh, where's he going? Oh my. It's quite dark for those sunglasses.
50. 40.
Oh, he's there.
30.
And we're on our way.
20.
Perfect.
10.
Thank you for Finley. It's all your birthday money going down the drain.
Will you put your big boy pants on one day and play Dead by Daylight, bleeding face, enjoying the stream?
Unbelievable. Thanks a lot, Finley, one of my moderators. Yeah, so the members, Mariana and my partner, have found it quite amusing to be playing Dead by Daylight. I don't do horror games. I will play with you guys one day, I promise. Thank you very much for the donation. He is the coolest pushback guy I think I've ever seen. I don't even need to be pushed back that far, just enough to make a 180-degree turn. That'll do us. Thanks a lot, buddy. Parking brake set. So exterior lights as required. So we'll have a little bit of nav lights. They should already be on. Taxi. I don't need logo. And brakes will check. Nozzle steering, flight instruments check. There we are. So we're all ready to taxi. So we're going to do a 180 and then join the taxiway here behind us. It's covered in snow, so we're going to take our time. At my operator, we actually have a maximum speed of 5 knots when taxiing on a contaminated taxiway, but for the purposes of Microsoft Flight Simulator, we'll carry on a little bit pacey. A bit dark in here as well. This is the lighting for the aircraft all up here. There we go. Perfect. Right, we'll release the brakes. And let's head on our way to Juneau. I hope we actually get there in one piece. Ooh, what's the master caution for? I think I know what it might be. Pitot static heat, because I had that come on earlier. contaminated by alpacas. I mean, if this goes well, I'll fly this on VATSIM. But I get my my Logitech radio tuning panel should be here imminently. That will make my life so much easier. Oh dear, I really don't think we're going to get into Juneau today as well, guys. It's going to be a non-precision approach. The minimums are around 1900 feet. I did a test sector and I couldn't see a single thing at minimum. So yeah, we'll do a couple approaches. First approach, I'm going to play it by the book, guys. We'll apply real world conditions. We're live weather, live time, by the way, as well. So you know, if at minimums we'll level off because it's an MDA, it's a non-precision approach. We'll level off at the minimums, wait until the missed approach point, and then if we're not visual, we'll execute the missed approach. There's a lot of high terrain, a lot of mountains around. I'll then have another go. I'll then have a little bit of a vote whilst we're on the hold after the second approach, which I think will happen, whether we actually improve the weather to get into our destination of Juneau, or we actually divert to wherever it was in Canada, Whitehorse, where the weather's absolutely fine. The forecast is fine there as well. So it could be very, very amusing, this stream today. Very cool. So there we are on the Southern Taxiway. Quite a bit of a way to go. We're going to go all the way to Hull Point. It's Romeo there for runway 33. Oh, trying to change views, but I'm not an expert. No. I don't want you moaning at me at any time. Looking good though. Why can't you see the speed? Because it's going too slow. I don't know what point the SB indicator becomes alive. Martin Ed says, hello Flydead Sim, hello to you. Thank you very much for being a member for 2 years. I can see you've got a little alpaca next to your name. Thank you so much, buddy. I forgot how good this sim looks. It just looks phenomenal. First ever time I've had proper snow in a stream as well. Live weather, live time. Absolutely fantastic. Seatbelt sign, is that off still? Not anymore.
May I have your attention, please? The captain has turned on the seatbelt.
What is going on?
Please fasten your seatbelt and shoulder harness at this time.
Oh dear.
Thank you.
It's the Alaskan authorities. They've realised I've got some contraband on board. Oh dear. Well, we're not online, so I think that's just... I swear I told it to have AI traffic off as well. Unbelievable. Thanks, guys. He's very low in his seat. Carry on. We're offline. That's AI. We're being AI'd, if that's a term. Right, let's do this little before taxi checklist. So exterior lights as required. Brakes. Yeah, we've checked. Aircraft stopping. Perfect. Nose wheel steering. We've checked. Left, right. We've already done enough turns. Flight instruments checked. So we've got the QNH, or inches of mercury set as indicating the altitude here, or the aerodrome level altitude, which is... I don't have that on any of my charts. 150 feet. There we are. So it's about 40 feet below it. So probably query that a little bit, but otherwise all okay. Runway heading set, departure. Flaps are set as well. Sorry for departure. Flaps at 15 degrees. And we'll be taking off on the no end four-sid, straight ahead, 652 feet, left turn inbound to Anchorage, climbing a flight up to flight level 200. We're going to follow kind of like an NADP2 departure if I somehow manage it. And there we are. There's Kilo Taxiway to get onto the other runway, 25 right, which is to the left of us. We're coming up to runway 33 just ahead. There's the whole point just coming up. the default airports in Microsoft Flight Simulator are quite nice, but one of the things I wish they'd change is the stop bars, the runways, they're yellow. They should be red. Excellent. Right, so here is the yellow stop bar. I think it's incorrect anyway, but it does say runway 33, but it should be Romeo, not Kilo. Oh no, that is correct, sorry, we're on the Kilo taxiway, but we'll just bring it to a halt here. There we are, just set the parking brake, just make sure we're completely ready for departure. So, checklist. Exterior lights as required, so we want the landing lights on, strobe lights on, brakes, apply, hold, brakes check, nose on steering, flight instruments are checked as well. Ice protection systems, we've got engine and wing anti-ice on for departure, rudder bias system check, seats up, flaps checked, speed brakes 0%, so the flaps 15 degrees, speed brakes fully stowed, trim is set for departure, crew briefing complete. TCAS is already TARA, radar is required. Is that modelled yet, weather radar? I don't think so. Go around button, push. Where's that? Does anyone know where that is? That'd be really helpful. I tried to find that earlier and I could not find anything that says GA button. Battery amps, verify 20 amps or less, we saw that earlier. Ice protection systems as required. Pitot-static system buttons are on, we've done that already. Exterior lights as required. Check the ICAS before takeoff. Next checklist is takeoff. There we are. It's on the throttle, left engine button. Oh, is it? Where the auto throttle disengages on the 7.3. I can't see any buttons there. Flight director bars. Need to turn. Oh, I need to change the flight director bars. That's what our man was telling me here. Let's see if I can remember how to do that. Page 2. Oh, where was it to get the different flight director bar? I can't remember. Left engine fire. Under left engine fire. Ah, I pushed it. Okay. And that gives me the flight director bar for departure. Very good. Thanks, guys. That's a massive toga button. Or is that actually not that? They've just modelled it as that? I don't know. Thanks, guys. I think we're all ready to go. N1 command bars, green chevron, brakes release, and then I just firewall it. It's got like a thrust, takeoff and a climb detent and a cruise detent. But cruise you actually have to set thrust manually. But I think we're all good to go now. Right, toga's in chat. Let's go flying. Parking brakes off. If I've missed anything massively, we're fine. Fly guy, aerial pilot. It's a shame you're not a member because we have an emoji just for that situation. It's not a real one, but it's somewhere to push. Got you. I didn't do that when I did the takeoff earlier. Right, we'll turn the music off for departure. Look at it. I wonder what the runway condition is here right now. I should think it's actually clear, but we've got a little bit of snow on here. Alright, let's now go to Juneau, or try to. Here we go. Oh, before I go anywhere, for all you perfectionists, look, timer, elapsed timer's running. Let's go. So engines around, stabilised, they're all looking the same, nothing of normal. There we are. Set takeoff thrust. Oh, sounded like they surged. Right, we've got full power there, 103%, that'll do. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. She's sensitive on the rudder. There we are, V1, rotate. And we're airborne. I'll follow the flight directives and pitch. Should think this is commanding around V2 plus 10, I think. Or not, gears up. Well, the flight directives are very low. I want to be doing around 140 max. So there's 650 feet. It should be commanding a turn here. I'm just going to engage. This is all wrong exactly. Nav. So the at least it's going to pitch for that. I'm going to lower the nose now to kind of bug up. And we're going to select the flaps up for now as well. Oops, I forgot to bug the target speed, which I want 240 knots. Flaps are up. Why is that so slow? There we are, it's commanding a left turn. Why? My goodness, I swear that was meant to be faster. There's 240, so I'm going to start pitching up to maintain 240. Climb thrust. Trimming nose down as well. I'm trimming nose down as well. This is not easy. There's my bug speeds. 305. Just want to get into flight level change. There we are, 240. I think it's the target speed we want. I'm kind of flying it manually, but I'll trim nose down a bit more. Right, and now I'm going to select flight level change, autopilot, and yaw damper. I think that's on. There we are. And we're maintaining 240 knots in sort of level change. Incline thrust, and we're climbing up to flight level 200. How was that out of 10? I could walk quicker. That was busy, but the takeoff sequence you saw there is completely incorrect. I really don't know what I'm doing. I have no SOP here. I'm just sort of using it like I would a 7.3 essentially. It's working. That's the important thing. Climbing really nicely at 3,000 feet per minute. 240 knots, and let's see how it's tracking the SID beautifully. There you are, inbound to Liffey already. Let's do the after takeoff checklist. So throttles, takeoff we've done. M1 command bars. Brakes we released, control wheel, rotator VR we did, landing gears up, flaps 0, throttles climb, yaw dampers on, autopilot is required, ice protection is required, it's on, passenger light button is required. That's we're already coming up, look, to flight level 200, so the initial climb, I think they want you to maintain 240, but you maintain 240 knots until you get to Mach decimal, let me read it here, 6.4. So we actually maintain 240. Once we're at Mach decimal 6.4, we'll convert to Mach. There we are. And we'll now do the pre-cruise checks as we're already past flight level 100. Flaps up a V2 plus 10 throttles. Climb a bit earlier. Thanks 12 out of 10. Brilliant answer now, 15 in the sun. Nobody died out of 10. Looks like it just undercut the corner slightly, but overall, what do you think, guys? Compared to the default one, I think it's brilliant. I think it's really nice. And of course, it'll get improved on every day. In a bit of cloud here, we've got any icing. Oh yeah, a little bit of icing forming, look. And on the nose. And on the tailplane. But we've already got the engine and wing anti-ice on. No idea what parts of the wing are heated on this aircraft, or if the horizontal stabilizer leading edge is heated. No idea. There we are. Oh, look at that, out of the clouds now. Right, let's get the after takeoff, pre-cruise checks done. So we now can have, leave the engine wing anti-ice. Yeah, I mean, wing anti-ice is very much a visual thing. It's off at the moment. We're about to go through some clouds, so I'm actually going to turn that back off, and if we need it, I'll put the, oh, it's wing and engine anti-ice. Ah, engine only, or wing engine anti-ice. Interesting. So is that both of them, and this is just engine anti-ice? I mean, yeah, you wouldn't have wing anti-ice on without engine anti-ice. It'd be very unusual. Right, so lights can come off then. We don't need landing or taxi. AEP unit is not fitted. Pressurization. We're not dying. Seatbelts will turn off. Love that. And fuel situation. We have just over 2 tons on board. Look. 2 tons, and looking at the flight plan here, we should, well, we're not even near our block fuel, so we're fine here. There we are, pre-cruise checks complete. Pressurization, yep, we're not dying. I don't actually know how to check the pressurization. I think it's under here. I think I saw it on the startup here. So upper menu. I think it's under systems. Well, I've got oxygen. I think that's the pressurization system, but I don't actually know how to check the pressurization
Altitude.
system. Oh, we're approaching our cleared level, 200. So what I'll do is we'll go all the way up to our cruise level, which is 410. It looks like it already had it's got out capture already engaged, unfortunately. It's 410, so I'm going to reselect flight change. There we are. And just up 240 until we get to our conversion speed, which was decimal 6, whatever it was. Maintain 240 knots until you reach. Where's it gone? Can't see it anymore. 240 knots until decimal 64. We're doing back decimal 55, so we've got a little bit left to go yet. There we are, on our way. Oh yeah, set standard. Very good. Past the transition level. It's amazing how when you fly an aircraft that you are not familiar with, how the simple things are forgotten. So there you are. Siki says, "You are cool, man. Thank you." I'll forgive the grammatical error. Wicked, isn't it? Absolutely wicked. And how loud is that? Do you want me to turn the sim down a bit? I mean, how is it in here? That's the important bit. I mean, is the sim too loud, too quiet? Let me know. Nice to have Sim Toolkit Pro up again. I'm running it in Microsoft Flight Simulator only at the moment. I'll show you, this is what I'm following in the background here, guys. So it's a PDF that's included with the documentation. It's just a very, very basic little SOP, just to kind of cover the basic procedures of this aircraft. Now, I think they've updated it since they wrote this, because it says on earlier builds there you had to actually increase thrust because the FADEC wasn't that accurately modelled, but I think now it provides sufficient climb thrust to get you up to your cruise level, which is pretty good. So this is the bit I was discussing earlier. Climb should be conducted at 240 knots and then maintain decimal 64 on conversion. And when we level off at flight level 410, we'll go up to our cruise speed about decimal 75 or so. Your yaw damper isn't engaged, is it not? Let's have a look. How do you know when it is? I thought it was on your FMA here. I pressed it plenty of times now. Audio spot on, thanks guys. I'll put a little bit of music on now. Not that one though. There we are. Engine wing anti-ice can come off. We're on our way to Juneau. Mika, will you make a stream with the new fly-by-wire A320? I have done. I streamed it about a month ago. But I'm not an Airbus guy, so I generally like to fly X-Men 11 and the Zebo mod and new aircraft like this. But I will no doubt jump into the fly-by-wire A320 again for a bit of a laugh. Music is slightly too loud. Thanks, guys. Well, I chose this route today, guys, because I know it's scenically beautiful, and like with all of my streams, it's going to be overcast and rubbish weather the entire way. A Kid Bear is a cabin tour available. You can't use the cameras. There's some preset views in the cabin, but you can't leave the cockpit. The camera's kind of like stuck in there. But we'll have a look around later. Why is the plane rocking up and down? Just a little bit of light turbulence. autopilot airborne now for 10 minutes at 31,000 feet. I don't know how close they've got the performance on this, matching the real aircraft, but I believe there's a lot of excess performance on these biz jets. The fly-by-wire Zebo of the future. I know, it's such a I'm so gutted they didn't make a default 737. I mean, in the history of Microsoft Flight Simulator, the last few editions have all had a 737, the most popular commercial airline of all time, and they didn't include it. I bet there'd be Zebo would be working on it now if there was one. Never mind, eh? There is a way to cheat the system though, so you can have a cabin tour, but it does require sim restart. Let's not worry about that one. End does the locked mounts. I didn't know that. I used number 1. My joystick, my Xbox controller's turned off though, and they still have that bug in Microsoft Flight Simulator where if you turn on an external peripheral like an Xbox controller, or you plug in your keyboard or turn it off or on, it just freezes the sim for about 30 seconds. It's so annoying. Sacrilege, no 737, you've got it, Todd, it's ridiculous. Are you using a weather mod, or is this default live weather? Default live weather, so yeah, probably not that great. I understand there's lots of mods now, plugins and things. I've not been keeping up with Microsoft Flight Simulator, but we have had issues with live weather before. Looking at the live weather in Juneau, I mean, we should get in based off this. Yeah, I mean, it's windy, but it's 7 statute miles, broken at 3,400 feet. The visibility we need for this bridge is 4 statute miles, so it is a bit hazy. But we should get in based off this. There are some few clouds at 1,200. But yeah, we'll play it by the book. If we can't see anything, I'll have 2 goes at the approach. But I based off the meta, I'd be confident that I could slip it in to Juneau today. Egfi, are you a real pilot? Yes, sir. I'm a captain for a European airline. Before you ask what's European airline, that's something I don't disclose. Although my operator is well aware of what I do, they give me full permission to stream, make content, which is very kind of them. I could also tell you who I work for if I wished, but I just wish to keep that private. Is the CJ4 Cat 1 owner? Yes, I believe so, Mickey Moo. Cat 1, capable of flying RNAV approaches as well. Oops, I'm not concentrating, look at all. We were meant to be flying now, decimal 64. Oh look, that's actually only just gone past it, look. Oh look, our speed's actually gone a little bit back here. So now let's switch over to Mac. Actually, I feel that's really slow, 2 rounds. Is that right? I might just crank it up a little bit. I want to kind of go 6.6, otherwise we're going to go a little bit too slow. Ooh, shouldn't be descending. Oh, there's the beautiful Alaskan scenery below. At least the clouds do look very nice. But that's the beauty of Microsoft Flight Simulator. It'll give me the opportunity when I stream this sim to go to other places outside the world that are not Europe, because I like to have all that scenery in Ortho 4XP, but it's a heck of a time to, you know, it takes a long time to download all the scenery. Sometimes it can be a bit buggy and cause sim crashes, whereas in this, the world is there. Todd, yes, the last thing you want is people airing their grievances of said airlines at you. Yes, of course, that is the primary reason. He flies a Rabbit Air. No, fly for Alpaca Airways. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Do we still have our CJ4 pilot here? How is the performance here of this aircraft? I mean, was it 15 minutes? Look up at 38,000 feet. I mean, you get up there in an empty 737 in that time, but I don't know how the performance is of this aircraft. The fuel burn, though, I tested this on the flight plan. Seems very nice. Seems very close. But when we level off, we'll go up to back decimal 7.5. Remember, there's no auto throttle, so it does require a little bit of extra workload management on this aircraft, but no more than the the FlyJSim 727, which we've flown many times before. Llama Executive Jets. No, this is not Llama International Airlines. Have weather on the MFD. It looks good in my honest opinion. Yeah, I had a look at it. I can't remember how to turn it on, but it just depicts Microsoft Flight Simulator's weather. So you get a lot of returns which are kind of like red and magenta, which is like a no-fly really. You don't want to go through anything like that if it's associated with CBs. Inbound to the Juneau VOR. Bring up the Navigraph charts just now to show you where we are flying. There you go, guys. You can't really see the aircraft, but we're flying direct to this waypoint. Then we're joining the Juliet 501 airway all the way to Yakutat, and then from Yakutat it's actually direct to Echo Echo Foxtrot NDB, but it's pretty much the same airway. Juliet 541 though. And if you want to see geographically where we are, Anchorage, right over the top of the world.
Altitude.
Oh, thank you. There's Juneau. So at Juneau, the reason we're going here, it was a requested airport from one of the members. So I was looking at through the destination request. It was actually to go in the 737-200, but it looks quite challenging because it's actually got something called an LDA approach. Now, I don't see the term LDA in Europe, or I don't know. I don't fly into any approaches which have this LDA, and essentially it's a localizer which is not aligned with the runway centre line. So it's basically an offset approach, but using a localizer. So that's the option of one of the approaches here. But I'm flying the RNAV approach. The reason is the minimum's considerably lower than the LDA. Now we are approaching flight level 410. Captain Bag of 782 viewers and only 360 likes. I know. Terrible, guys. If you like watching a furloughed 737 captain flying various aircraft on Microsoft Flight Simulator X11, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. Subscribe as well. I'm doing around 3 streams a week on this channel. My second channel, I'm doing around 1 stream a week on Flight Data Sim Gaming, which is brand new. Go check it out. So all I can pretty much do at the moment whilst UK is in full lockdown. It's very enjoyable. Very much enjoy going back to my simming roots. So, we've levelled off. Flight envelope's very large. Yes, I don't know where, or if they have a 1.3G sort of manoeuvre margin modelled, or at what point the low speed buffet starts, but we do have an indication of MMO here. Now I'm just going to level off here with climb thrust still set, just so we can accelerate to 0.75. David, hi Captain, can you tell me what is the max climb gradient for a Boeing 737 please? I saw there are some limitations based on it in some airports. So David, when we check performance like that, we're very fortunate in the fact the OPT will calculate the obstacle clearance requirements and the minimum climb gradient. What we want to know is not the climb gradient, what is that in feet per minute? So most of the charts will have a conversion on which converts the climb gradient into a minimum rate of descent required, and I can tell you now pretty much all the airports I fly into, it's very unlikely that you're going to be limited by climb gradients on departures, especially due to the fact there's so much excess performance on the 737. If there is a limitation, or say for example the climb gradient is not enough on the SID, the missed approach, there's all sorts of minimum climb gradients required on certain types of approaches there. We have to either fly to a higher minimum if the missed approach climb gradient is too steep. They'll have different minimums based off different missed approach climb gradients, or lower the weight of the aircraft or find additional performance some other way. Try a different runway perhaps. K217 due to a fade egg bug at high altitudes going into
50,
cruise gives you a little
40,
higher N1 so
30,
you can speed up quicker.
20,
Okay.
10.
it's dropped it slightly, but we're nearly there anyway.
I just want to tell you good luck, we're all counting on you.
Thank you very much, Matthew M, for the 25 quid. That's very generous of you. Nice chatting to you the other day as well. And thank you very much for your generous donation. That's very, very kind. Thanks, buddy. Yes, just counting on us. Yeah, just counting on me. Yeah, you're going to see, guys, it's going to be very sketchy getting into Juneau. I don't know why I chose this sector. Why didn't I just choose somewhere with a simple ILS? I chose a tricky approach with loads of terrain and non-precision approaches. Oh no, because I really wanted to show off VNAV, that's why. But here we are. Oh, look at all the scratch effects on the glass. It's such a pretty sim. Super duper. Todd Gibby, are we going to have any Mac buffet? That's our in-flight menu today. Mac buffet, yes. Alpaca's chain of restaurants are called Mac buffet, but we're not planning to have any on board. So we'll just let it keep on accelerating here. And there we are over the Juneau VR. Not that you can see anything today. Such a shame. Sigel, are you wearing your uniform right now? No, I'm wearing jeans, a white t-shirt and a hoodie. I'm not that kind of guy. My uniform's gathering dust in my wardrobe. Oh dear. Andy, at flight level 410, are you too high for contrails? Not usually anything to do with your height, to do with the moisture, the content, how much moisture is in that air as to what contrails we're reflecting. But I don't think that's even modelled in Microsoft Flight Simulator, so there's not much point looking. Look at the ice look on the wing, horizontal stabiliser. Is it a Flight Data Sim hoodie? It's not, Dolsky, but if you are interested in an Alpaca Airways or Flight Data Sim hoodie, check out the merch below. I don't usually push it, guys, but you can do whatever you like. Just enjoy the stream, that's all I ever ask. Don't forget to like it and subscribe if you're enjoying it. 420 knots, yes, remember that's your ground speed, though. Ground speed, John. Our indicated airspeed's only a pitiful 210. But what's important here, at this altitude isn't the indicated airspeed, it's your Mach number. It's like an Airbus that you can push that button to match the heading. Love it. Brad, I'm wearing pyjamas with little planes on them. Superb. Do we have a merge command? I don't. Presto, my daughter lived in Juneau for a couple of years. There is no way to get there other than plane or ship. Her car had to be shipped there for the area road. So that's really interesting, Presto. Very cool. I'm afraid I don't know much about this area at all, Alaska,
50,
geographically.
40, 30,
I didn't
20,
even realise that Juneau was
10.
in Alaska with the way that the land, where the border is with Canada.
Love your videos and streams.
Oh, thank you.
Where is the member join button on your channel? Can't seem to find it. Phew.
Oh, phew. Oh dear. Thank you very much, Ian, 4Moz1, for the $8 donation. Very kind. Where's the join button? So I don't know how you're watching this. Basically, I think it should be working on mobile now, but there should be a little button that says join right next to the screen. If it's not working on mobile, which I'm not 100% sure it is on the main web browser on the internet. There should be a button there. And as a member, you'll get invited to the members-only Discord, where I have kind of more exclusive content. I do occasional streams on there where people can ask me questions. I play some games with the guys there. Great bunch of guys now as well. So it's very, very enjoyable. So thank you very much if you're interested in becoming a member. I hope to see you soon. Paradak, hi there, Captain. I want an honest opinion. Is the new Microsoft Flight Simulator worth €120? I don't really make that much, and I'm on the edge of buying it, not buying it. How do you feel about the physics? I wouldn't personally get the full version. I'd just get the basic version, because all you're getting with the full version is a few more aircraft and and higher detailed airports, they are just default aircraft, and there's a lot of high quality payware aircraft on its way and freeware aircraft available.
50,
So I just
40,
stick with the default
30,
basic version.
20, 10.
And I don't know much about the physics of it yet. Yes, it seems good, but I still prefer explain.
Tell the captain we have to land as soon as we can.
Uh-oh.
This woman needs to get to a hospital. A hospital. What is it? It's a big building with patients.
Paul Clark for £5 donation. Where on earth did that come from? It would seem that one of our alpaca executive passengers is approaching labour. We're in serious trouble here. Right, thank you very much. I will perhaps not divert, but hang in back there. We'll carry on to Juneau for now. Very, very good.
Minimums, approaching minimums.
Thank you very much to David Muggs, just joined us a moment. Welcome aboard, buddy. Glad you enjoying the content. You'll get invited to our members only Discord. Enjoy your custom emojis and chat as well. Oh, it's an airplane quote. Oh my goodness me. I haven't seen that film in a long time. That's why I can't remember that quote. My oh my. Now, I was actually literally thinking, I'm very gullible. So, but I had no reference or remembrance of that quote. Dear oh dear. So I think
50,
this has
40,
ETA
30,
on the FMS. The FMS
20,
has quite a lot modelled here.
10.
I'll have a little play with it in a bit. Thank you very much to
Currently
Michael.
drinking a coffee. Here is one for you.
Oh, Michael Calder, very kind. Thanks for the $6. Cheers to you. I'll pull myself a coffee after the stream, and I'll drink that with you. Thinking about you as well. Thank you very much, buddy. That's very kind. Perfect. Right. So here's the FMS. You've got the original flight plan here. And remember, I must stress it's still a beta. I think it said in the manual 75% of this has been modelled now. Compared, there isn't a decent default one at all. So I was really surprised at how much functionality it had. Direct to waypoints, you can hold. I don't know how good it is at holding, but apparently it's modelled, so I haven't actually tested it. It's got a basic form of VNAV, so it'll maintain a vertical path angle and I think attempt to fly these target speeds. So it's already calculated a top of descent for us, 240 miles away. This is the remaining distance till destination. Yeah, constraints. These are the only constraints we have programmed, which are on the approach to be at or above. And I've been led to believe it works very, very nicely. Now, I've got a funny feeling that we're suffering from icing. You know how Microsoft Flight Simulator has this weird icing model that I've got 96.2%, but it will not accelerate. So I'm just going to whack on. You wouldn't in the 737 turn on wing anti-ice now because you'll have a bleed trip off. But let's just see if the aircraft will accelerate, because this happened once in the A320. It just had some weird weird icing bug. Look how I said Airbus automatically. It had some weird icing bug, and the aircraft just stopped accelerating and leveled off. It was just weird. I don't know. I'll leave that on for a minute and see if that happens there. But you know, we've got quite a high N1 still. I'd expect it to be a slightly lower target N1. I'm not 100% sure on that one though. You need to turn on VNAV. Does it actually have VNAV for cruise? Oh yeah, V out. But it won't make any change because there's no auto throttle. But no, maybe it's not. It looks like it's holding quite steady at decimal 73, but that's fine.
40,
I don't want to be going any slower or any faster, but
20,
that's fine.
10.
Turn that back off. Firstly, oh my goodness me, we've got
Have a
all sorts
beer on
in here.
me when you're not flying, of course.
Of course.
Really enjoying the CJ4 stream live.
Thank you very much, Rob Billing, for the £5. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Have a beer and coffee. My oh my. When you're not flying, of course. Really enjoying the CJ4 stream live. Thank you very much, Rob. And thank you to Ronald Bird, who's just joined us as a member. Welcome aboard, buddy. You'll get invited to our members only Discord. Enjoy your custom emojis in chat as well. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so there is a little bit of icing on the horizontal stabilizer. Well, not as a stabilizer. I think it's fixed on this aircraft. But yeah, I don't know if this is heated. The wing definitely is, but whether this is heated, I don't know. It isn't on the 7.3. but I can't get rid of it. But I don't know. Is my CJ4 man still here? He'd probably be able to tell me. I quite like to change the flight director bar style as well. I know you said that's possible. I'd like to, anything to make it more like a 737 just would be superb. Hey Yappy, yep, real time, real weather. This is all live right now. Amy, that's in the PFD menu. Now, how on earth do I get to that? How on earth do I get to that? There is tail de-ice. Very cool. Thanks, Corwin Tipper. Flight director could be changing PFD menu. How do I get to that one, though? Game. Oh, I don't want to push any of this. I might break it. Top of PFD. Oh, it's on the top of the PFD. Oh, what? Oh, here? Ah! Thanks. I thought it was in the FMS. Oh no, I definitely want present position for the display, 100%. Now, how do I get to the next menu? Okay. So range, bearing, source. Oh, so you can display the VORs and ADFs if you tune them. Refs. Oh, well, you know, before I forget where to find this screen, I'm just going to set the minimums for this approach, which is 1880. Because I couldn't find that earlier. I've just found it now. So whereabouts is this config? Ah, thanks. Ah, meter altimeter. Now how do I change it? Oh, so much better. Oh, yes. Amazing. Please save that. Oh, that's so much better. How can you have it any other way? It's wicked. What a great job this team has done, really. I don't know how long it's been gone on. I'm so surprised I hadn't heard of it. I mean, I only heard of it literally 3 or 4 days ago. It popped up on my recommended views and I saw it. Oh, someone was that was exhausting. Yeah, thanks guys. No more flying wedge. Exactly, Tom. Yeah, that's so much better, isn't it? Yeah, so this mod VBars for life. No K217. That's such a bizjet thing. Bizjet, definitely no VBars for me. Yeah, so it came up on my recommended. I joined the Discord. I didn't say anything. Cool. Oh, hello. I just had a little browse as well. And that's how I got linked to your videos, K217. I'll be honest, I didn't spend much time looking at it, but I saw straight away that you flew the aircraft and that you're providing feedback, and that's always a good sign. I mean, I've been involved with the Zebo mod now for 2 years. There's loads of other 7.3 pilots providing feedback for that, and it just feeds into a nice simulated model of the aircraft. And then I read some reviews of this, and people were really raving about it, so I installed it last night. Didn't have much of a chance to play with it, and then this morning I got up and had a few jobs to do in the office, and I fired this up, and I was thinking of a route, and I thought, oh, Anchorage, Juneau. I loaded up in Juneau in this aircraft, and I just went Juneau to Juneau, took off, and I just had a play of it, playing it, and I saw the VNAV, and it flew the approach absolutely beautifully. The flight path angle was all matching with the approach, 3.1 degrees. It went down the approach beautifully in VNAV, and I thought the fact that someone has gone to the length of modelling that is really nice. So yeah, I'm super impressed with it, and I've only flown it in Juneau, took off on landing, and then just before this stream, landed about an hour before it, I did this test sector. And that's all I've done in this aircraft, and I thought I was going to stream it tomorrow, but I thought, you know what, I'd rather stream it now before I forget what I did learn. And I've learned so much more already. So guys, go check it out. It's completely free. It is so easy to install. You literally drag the download file. It's not even that much. It's like 40 or 50 meg. Put that in the community folder, and that's it. Just fire up the CJ4 and you've got it. The documentation provided is great. It's all in the whatever you call it, the GitHub. Everything you need's there. There's a Discord. Brilliant. Yeah. Is it my favourite aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator right now? Yeah, I put it above my current favourite, the Blériot 11. Very cool. Jester John, weather and train on PFD panel, second from right, top row, also on MFD if you select plan mode. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so if I was flying around in a 7.3 and saw this, I'd be like, get me out of here. That is serious. Looks all clear around the aircraft at least. Yeah, that's not ideal. Not what you want to be seeing. I quite like the blue. I guess that's the default display. But, oh, does this actually work? Do you have TCAS now? That'd be cool for VATSIM. Very, very nice. Joseph, so happy the G1000 real sim gear suite is working, making flying more fun, nice hardware. So I think the team behind Working Title do have. Is it mods for the G1000 as well? The screens. I did see there were some other things available. I just grabbed the aircraft. Now I do have a question. I just saw a comment about that. Yeah, that's the. Get your eye point in the right place in the window. I still to this day do not know what this is. I was flying the approach here and the arrows were going up and down and then the ball illuminated. I thought this was something to do with aircraft carrier landings, but honestly, never seen one in my 12 years flying. It's an angle of attack indicator, is it? Ah, angle attack indicator. So is there a point at which it tells you to lower the nose? Oh, that makes sense. I mean, I just sort of flew the approach normally earlier. Oh, look, we are slowly accelerating. I'm just going to take a little bit of thrust off here. There we are. That's just burning 400 kilos of fuel an hour. That's amazing. The blue circle is the ideal angle of attack. There you go. Learns literally. I've stressed this every time I've streamed. You learn something new every day. You never stop learning. You never stop learning aviation. Very, very cool. Is there a good Boeing business jet for Expo 11? Yaffy, I don't know. The Zebo mod is still the one you want to be getting, and I should think you can get a livery which is like a Boeing business jet, but I don't think that would make actually any changes to the aircraft. I don't exactly know what differences there are with the BBJ. Range. There we are. We've got a nice little top of descent generated just after Yak. You can tune all your nav aids as well, so let's, for a bit of demonstration purposes, see if we can tune a VOR. So I'll bring up Navigraph for you. There we go. So we're currently on the Juliet 501 airway, inbound to Yakutat. Frequency is 13.3. So what you have to do is go down. There's probably another way of doing this, but you go to tune. And this is why I didn't want to go on VATSIM until I get my radio tuning panel, because it's a bit heads down, and as soon as I get my radio tuning panel, bish bash bosh, I'm gonna be loving that. So 13.3. And then we can go up to this display, PFD menu. Do excuse me guys, as I'm still getting my way around this menu. You can then change it to FMS VOR, so let's select VOR1, there we are. Yak VOR, we've got a nice little RMI, needle pointing towards the VOR, range the DME for the VOR as well. Love it. It's very, when you first jump into this, which I did last night, I found it initially a bit daunting, all these buttons here, but it is very user-friendly, really is easy, and it's intuitive. I still have streamed the Airbus A220 10 times, I still don't get it. This is so much better. Thank you very much, no offence to Airbus. Ian from Oz1, welcome on board as a member, glad you joined Content Buddy, and you'll get invited to our members only Discord. Enjoy your custom modes and chat as well, thank you very much. Anthony, you learning helps our learning. Perfect. Everyone's happy. Yeah, what a great little mod. Excuse for not being on that today. As I said, it would be a little bit daunting for my first day in here. I think we would have been okay, but I can't wait. I can't wait to do some more trips in this thing. Alex Spartan, if I remember correctly, some old fighter jets use that angle of attack system. Yeah, I've seen. That's the only reference I've seen. I thought it was something to do with the approach or path angle, or if it tuned into the nav1 frequency provided a point which said, but no, it's just angle attack. Nate, I agree, the Airbus isn't as intuitive as the Boeing, but once you master it, it is great. Thank you very much, Nate. Warlord used to do a collab with 320 Sim Pilot. I have spoken to 320 Sim Pilot. We exchanged emails quite recently, actually, and it was very, very kind with the words towards the channel and vice versa. So, yeah, maybe in the future we'll do something. Aaron, would you ever do a shared cockpit episode? Yes, once I think FlyJSim are developing some sort of smart cockpit system. I think that's going to be the best bet. I did try it once at the Zebo mod a couple of years ago. It wasn't that great. I've heard there's been improvements to whatever system that was, but still it's quite buggy. But perhaps I shall. Smokey Den, be careful with liveries. It can break the FADEC unless you do something special. Thanks for the tip, Smokey Den. I haven't downloaded any liveries. I think this is just the stock Microsoft Flight Simulator one. I did see that there were lots of liveries available, but with the pace of the updates going out both for Microsoft Flight Simulator and I saw that the working title will be putting so many updates to this and bug fixes, I just didn't want to put any additional add-ons on it which could have caused any potential issues. Awesome stuff, guys. We're approaching around the halfway point of the stream. That's based on the fact if we do not divert, which is very likely today. I'm just going to take a quick 4 or 5 minute break. If you are enjoying the stream as ever, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new. I'll be back in around 4 or 5 minutes or so. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot for that, guys. Nice little stretch of the legs. Sit down here all the time. Same when I'm at work. You know, if you're doing a 4-hour flight, try to jump up if you've been sat down for more than a couple of hours. Just getting the blood flowing where it should be. And it's nice to see that we're still going in a straight line. Nothing major has happened. Perfect. So, how far until top of descent? There we go. Turn the sim up slightly. Now, where was it? VNAV setup. No. I think you can look up all the waypoint names up in here as well, which is pretty cool. There's holding. Progress, look. Obviously, they don't have two independent FMC's models, so they come up both here, but you've got like this little ETA, look. So 32 minutes estimated en route time, but including the arrival. A few turns slowing down, probably around 40 minutes to go. Now, what I wanted to find was the VNAV page. One that shows you where top of descent is. I can't remember. So there we are. Oh, 88 miles. Well, we better crack on with the approach briefing then, guys. We were in control whilst you were gone. Thanks, anonymous gamer. If I was told to choose who to take control based on then username, I wouldn't want to have given you control, anonymous gamer. I would have taken someone else. But thank you nonetheless for flying us straight and true. Anonymous gamer, old F4, brilliant. Yes, that precisely. There may be trouble ahead. Right, let's have a look here at Navigraph. So inbound to Yakutat VOR. Here's the approach here. So there's no arrival or star into this airport. They only have approach charts available. And we're going to be flying the RNAV approach. There is an LDA approach, which is a localizer offset approach, which I was actually looking forward to do, but the minimums are very high, 3,200 feet. So it takes you out to 3.2 DME, and then you have a missed approach point. And we really, with the cloud base as it is and the weather, I really need that extra lower altitude to fly. Now this is quite unusual because it's likely we're going to reach the minimums way before the missed approach point. So you can either execute the go around straight away, but you've got to climb straight ahead to the missed approach point, or you can level off at 1900 feet and then maintain that altitude until you get to the missed approach point. But obviously if you get overhead Mulry and you're still at 1900 feet, you're never going to get straight in. So we'll see how it is. I'm very much going to treat the first approach precisely as I would in real life. So we'll get down to the minimums, level off at 1900 feet, or execute an immediate missed approach if it definitely looks like we're not going to get in. But we'll level off there and carry on towards Mulry. Now, I hope my CJ4 guy's still here. I don't think the missed approach is coded in the FMS, so if we do have to go around, I've got to do it raw data, and I technically can't do that because it's not. There's no conventional navigation off this approach. They're to RNAV waypoints, so I've sort of got to just dead-head it towards Mugs and then quickly write in the scratch pad Mike Uniform Golf Golf Zero, because if you go here to the flight plan page, or legs, sorry, you can see it goes to all the waypoints we need. But it terminates at runway 08, so the missed approach point isn't coded in, which is a bit of a pain. Pullback, missed approach is not yet in the mod. They've teased it for the next version. Okay, so it's going to be a tiny bit. Oh, you can't even see the FMS. Sorry, guys. It's going to be a little bit unrealistic if we do have to go around, because this is, you know, could I fly this approach in reality? No, I couldn't, because it's an RNAV base waypoint. You need to check it's all coded correctly, and we don't have a missed approach coded. And if I go straight ahead, I'm going to hit a mountain. So what I will do, we'll fly. If I have to go around, I'll wait until we get to runway 08. But you can see here, Mulry's not coded. So what we'll do, we'll wait until the distance is 2.2. That will represent Mulry. and then we'll commence the missed approach by at 2.2 miles from Mulry, which will represent Mulry. We'll commence a left turn. I'm just going to go in heading select around 300 degrees, quickly type in the scratch pad, Mike Uniform Golf Zulu Zulu. I tested this, it should work, and then I'm going to go from Mugs up to 9,000 feet, past Mugs to Chill. Now what I might do is actually, once we get to Mugs, or 9,000 feet, is actually from Mugs go straight to Ogem, chop the approach off. Again, shouldn't technically do that, but especially as we're going to be IMC today, and you don't want to be self-positioning below the MSA in IMC. It's just a no-no. So we'll see how we get on, but it's just to kind of cater for the fact that the FMS isn't fully modelled with the missed approach. So we'll sort of chop it and change it slightly. We'll do everything I can within, as realistically as possible, but it'll be a challenge. And as I said, the chances of going around quite likely. So I'll discuss that. So, we're happy that there's no star, so we're going to be routing, if you look on our flight plan, direct to Elephant. Eventually, we're currently inbound now, where we've just gone past Yak, and I think right now we are inbound, look, to Elephant. 158 miles to go, so we're already inbound to the beginning of our arrival at Echo Echo Foxtrot. Now, what we're going to do when we get to Elephant, we're going to be descending down till, I'm going to set initially 8,400 feet, because that's the MSA, and once I'm confident we're close to Elephant, I'll step down to 3,400 feet. Now, this has VNAV, so I'm not going to be level at 3,400. It should plan a descent path to make this 3,400 or above at Ogemi and make the FAF height at 2,700. I tested it, works quite nicely. So that's the plan. You can see F Nimly on the flight plan there, and I'll move a bit across. Then we have Ogemi. There's Ogemi at above 3,400 feet. That's coded in the FMS. We're then going to go to the final approach fix, which is Mene. The FAF height's 2,700 feet. There it is, 2,700 feet. Go to the next page. You check the tracks and distances. They're good. 350 and 069, 071. So there's a slight discrepancy on the course there. You want it to be within a degree, really. Runway 08071 is just in there, but look at that, they've got everything coded here. It's 3.08 degrees, you've got 3.1, so it's rounded, but they've taken into account the fact it's ever such a slightly steeper path than default. And it works. There's no actual altitude distance cross-checks on this chart, unfortunately, but the idea is you just keep descending until you get to the minimums, which is 1880. Remember, I set that in the PFD here. Now, my operator, we'd add 40 feet to allow for the fact that you want to perhaps initiate the go-around, but we're actually going to level off at 1900 feet if we're not visual, because we can't. If you go around, you turn left straight away. That's not good, because it can be confusing. It says missed approach, climbing left turn to 9,000 feet. For a non-position approach, you've got to wait until the missed approach point first. You can't, you can't cut that corner because you might be outside the protected area. Now, you'd be fine because you can see there's no charts, or if you had radar control, ATC could give you a vector. You could add Mulry from the scratch pad, Mulry and scratch pad, then click runway 08 to put before it. Okay. Will it still work with VNAV? Will it work out all the correct heights? But that would definitely work. So Mene, Mike, Oscar, Lima, Romeo, Echo. Oops, I'm trying to use two scratch pads as well. Okay, seems to be okay. Execute. That's better. 2.2. Well, there you go. I mean, to be fair, that's exactly how I do it in the 7.3 if it wasn't coded correctly, but you'd never find one that was incorrectly coded. But there we are. We have now put in the missed approach point. Now, I'm not going to put a height in there because I just want to have a very brief level segment. But yes, we can commence that left turn at Mike, Oscar, Lima, Romeo, Echo now. Very good. Yes, VNAV is calculating descent path from the runway backwards. It's perfect, so it shouldn't make any difference then. Same as the 7.3. Great. Or sometimes they do it from the missed approach point, but as I've just added it in, it doesn't know it's a missed approach point. Perfect. So we're happy with the chart. Now, as I said, we'll level off at 1900 if we're not visual. We'll be then getting high on profile, but if we do execute the go-around, we cannot commence that turn until Mulry, and then we'll make a left turn inbound to Muggs, and then 281 track to Chill, and I'll have to put that in manually. So we'll go from there. Perfect. So, next question for you guys. Do Microsoft Flight Simulator model cold temperature altimetry error? Is that modelled? Because, what is the temperature actually? Might not need to do it, because I think it's a little bit warmer. Oh, we shouldn't need to do it anyway. Temperature in Juneau is 5 degrees. Warm. Just got the latest weather. God, it's 110 at 17, gusting 25, light rain. Statute miles are 10, so we require 2 for this approach. That's fine. A few clouds at 1400, broken 3600. Shouldn't be an issue. If we get a cloud at 1400 feet, we're just unlucky. Overcast at 15,000, 5 degrees. The reason is I flew this test approach in the same METAR conditions, and it was pads in the sim. It looked really bad. Right, anyway, that's the approach briefing done. High terrain all around. We discussed the missed approach and the minimums on this US-based chart. If we are successful, landing on runway 8, we're going to vacate probably Delta Echo and then just taxi on to stand. If I've not thought about far ahead, but hopefully we'll be successful. Cool. Performance is the only thing we have left to do. Top of descent is... where was that again? 18 miles away, so by the time I've done the performance we should be good. So performance, approach. So it's PAJN, runway 08, runway slope. Wow, you can put everything in here. Let's say it's wet. Surface wind, well, worst case we won't include the gust, so it'll be 110 at 17. Temperature is 5. Oh, QNH I'm going to have to convert again. It is 995, which is 2937 is 995. Now, does VNAV, this is my next question, is VNAV going to look at this and alter the descent path to make sure I'm on profile? I should hope it does. Let's say anti-ice is on. I don't think they can change that. Anyways, landing factor. These are dispatch landing factored figures, so 1.67, 1.25 standard factor for wet. 1.67 is your, let me try and remember this, your dry factored landing distance. 1.92 is your wet, so it's 1.67 plus 15%, so your dispatch landing distance is almost twice as long as your actual landing performance. Can't change any there, but there's our approach speeds. VREF's 110. It's already made the corrections for the headwind component. Look, V approach speeds 117. Very cool. Right, anyway, I think that was reminding me it's top of descent. Should we go down, guys? Top of descent's in chat. Oh no, it's because I'm overspeeding. I thought that was a little beeper to tell me to descend. Can we get an "Are you a real pilot" emoji in chat, please? I think are we too high now? Where's VNAV? VNAV path. There we go. Better go idle here. Oh, are we actually at top of descent now? I don't know any of the indications of where top of descent is. What page was it? Oh. No, we're not quite at top of descent yet, so that's fine. Let me just set flight level 200. Oh, look, there you go. Look, there's our path indicator. There she goes. There she goes. Look, that'll make you feel a bit sick. Anyway, top of descent chat. Don't worry about the little overspeed. All good here. It's got VNAV. It's amazing. Now, is this following an idle path descent, or, you know, I mean, it's an auto throttle, so but how do I know what my target speed in descent is? Anyway, we're going down. Let's trust it. This could be very interesting. Look at this weather ahead as well. Red circle on V-speed graph is your VNAV target. Oh, sorry, Fadamore. I am not getting a red circle on V-speed graph. Well, I've gone idle. And I'll just make sure the speed's around 220-ish knots, and I'll just add thrust to maintain it, but I don't know what I did see on a page in here what the target speed was. Here it is, 290 knots, or decimal 74, so it's actually quite fast. I'm doing much slower than that. Well, you'd be getting the 7.3, which has auto throttle, will be correcting that speed because we're low in this case. And I guess that little magenta circle is your target rate of descent. I don't know, I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm happy. Yes, I'm not close to my target speed at all. Should be going faster, and I could just simply add thrust, but I'd rather take it nice and slow, and then if I get high I can just increase the speed. VNAV pages for climb descent is not operational. Got you, KS, but the fact that you've got a path descent or something for the aircraft to follow to maintain a continuous descent is nice. Yes, it can't quite probably match the target speed, and I don't know how this aircraft would manage that. I mean, on the 7.3, the auto throttle, if you're high above your target speed, it just says drag required. It doesn't actually do anything about it in path. If you get low on speed, if you get 15 knots below your target speed, you get FM speed engage, and it adds thrust to re-engage it. And when you're back at your target speed, it'll go back to retard and arm, but it'll do it. It does a good job. The Zebo mod is very good at maintaining its descent target speed. You can also change your target speed to rebuild your idle path profile. But yeah, it's nice. I love this. Guys, go check out K217 in chat. This is someone involved with the development of this aircraft. He's type rated on this aircraft as well. So be sure a good person to follow. And thank you for taking your time to pop into this stream and give me a little bit of advice. Please close your eyes for the approach. Alex, prepared to become a popsicle with wings on transition to these clouds. I know they really need to have a little think about icing in this. As I said at the start, there's 2 icing models in Microsoft Flight Simulator, none or severe icing. To be fair, you probably get a bit of moderate icing in cloud this high. But, a little bit of turbulence, look. I love these little, you plug in these nice effects. When we did a stream a while back in Microsoft Flight Simulator where it was very windy in the Canary Islands and we were getting a lot of turbulence off the terrain. It was very realistic. I think this is just a little bit of light turbulence. What is the outside air temperature? I think I did see that. So the static air temperature. Now, RAT, I'm guessing this is total air temperature, but I'm guessing that's the RAM air, because that's what it is. It's the temperature difference from the compressibility. That's the actual outside air temperature, minus 51, but due to the speed we're going, the total air temperature, or RAT as they call it in the citation, is minus 35. But actual, if you were stood outside, not moving, minus 51. I didn't do any of the views here. Have a look at some of the preset views here, really nice. But the autopilot's quite nice in this. It's very solid. There's no crazy changes like you get with the default aircraft. Lighting effects though in the cabin. Unfortunately, you can't use the free view camera to get to these views, but you can use this camera. There you are, that's the view from executive class at Alpaca Executive. Oh, you can see the icing on the engines and the wings already. Oh no. Ahoy, what happens when you press the approach fix button? Is that some sort of weird bug? Why are you winking like that? I'm not pushing it. What's that meant to be? I'm not sure. I'd be very concerned with the icing like that on the engine. There you go. So now we are going down to 200. We'll next step down to 10,000 feet. It's a baggage compartment. Ah. Toilet view, apparently. Chris Curtin, the games have gone on a bit since Pac-Man. I know, it's incredible, isn't it? What you can do on your PC. Andy, would you like some ice in your drink, sir? Let me just go scrape some off the wing. Brilliant. I don't know why it came up as spam, but someone quicker than me in accepting that. Yes. Just have to open the window, take a little bit off the aircraft. This sim has repaired many of the autopilot issues that they had earlier on. Now there's another mod I need to try. There's the one for the 7.4, but obviously the 7.4 is a much more complex aircraft to model accurately. Is it by something? Oh look, there's a bit of Alaska. Can you see it, guys? That's the first bit of ground we've seen since we took off. Oh, it's such a shame about the weather. Quinari, does the 737 have an ice detector? At my outfit, they don't. I think there is an option to have an ice detection system fitted with an amber warning light, but we're very reliant on, well, engine anti-ice, we use the visible moisture temperature criteria, so it doesn't matter. But for wing anti-ice usage, we're basing that on actual physical icing on the aircraft, which isn't too difficult to detect. So you've got a little wiper bolt here that ices up quite nicely. If you can get a little bit of icing build up there too. That's the best way to detect it. So I'm guessing this is a heading up display. Seeing that you see the wind's going in from the right there, 34 knots. Kind of drifting in this direction. I do prefer a track up display, of course, but don't know if that's an option. How do I change the zoom on this? Navigate through menus. I can't remember how to change the zoom. There we go. Oh, well, turn to the clouds. Ah, look at this turbulence as well. So I might just add a bit of thrust here. We can't do 220 here. Do around 230, 240.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thanks a lot, Paul Clark, for the £5. Very generous of you.
The passengers want to know if there is time for a G&T and P before seatbelts go on, or is it too late?
Paul Clark, we've got 25 minutes till landing. You can quickly nip to the toilets, and then we'll talk to the girls at the back. They'll get you a nice drink before landing. Might get a little bit down your top though, a little turbulence like this. But thank you very much, Paul, for your donation. Thank you very much as well, Tao, for coming in too. Tao, you've been watching these videos for a very long time, but thank you always for popping in and donating. Very kind of you. Andrew, when are you due to land? I'd say in around 25 minutes, if we don't fire Mr. Preach. Jonas Carlson, I bought the A300 yesterday and I love it. The Innie builds A300, fantastic aircraft. My last public stream was in the A300. We went to Luxembourg and the controller ATC there, the VATSIM was fantastic. One guy just dealing with everything there. Really good. Yeah, one of my favourite PAJN aircraft, that one. Jim, make an announcement. Shall we do one of the pre-orderable ones? Speed's okay. I'll quickly nip down here and actually before we enter clouds, wait a bit longer actually. You want to put the engine anti-ice on a few seconds before you enter the clouds, not after you enter the clouds. Where was it? Passenger briefing. Let's do turbulence one first.
May I have your attention, please?
Oops, no, not that one.
Welcome aboard the Citation
No, don't say that one.
CJ4 aircraft. Your flight crew will make
Uh-oh.
every effort to make your trip pleasant. May I have your attention, please?
turbulence.
You have received indication that we may encounter turbulence. The lighted seatbelt sign has been turned on. Please be seated and fasten your lap belt.
There you
The
go.
seatbelt sign is turned off. You may again move about the cabin. Thank you.
Oh, there you go. Very well spoken, Jim, our first officer. Right, back to idle thrust. Let's pop that engine anti-ice on now. And because it's Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'm putting the wing anti-ice on as well. Here we go, guys. I don't think we're going to see anything until we get close to the runway again. See if we get any icing. Dear, this could be very eventful. I just realised there's shortcuts for systems looking things. Could have done with that earlier. Checklist look.
Altitude.
Oh, so we're going to carry on descending. Let's go down to 10,000 feet. I need to push out at event or something of the equivalency. I think I can just push VNAV again. VNAV path, there we are. Approaching the transition level, so we'll set the local pressure. Now, I know I can cheat here by pushing B, because it's Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh no, it probably sets the transition level, because I'm still above 180. But when we get closer, we do need to set 29037. Right now in Juneau, the weather is showing 110 at 17, gusting 25, 10 statute miles, light rain, few at 1400, broken at 3600, 5 degrees. Got a little bit more thrust again. You could turn off the cockpit toolkits and the settings under general accessibility. Thank you, Jonas. I kind of like it in a way when I'm in an aircraft I'm unfamiliar, but otherwise, yes, turning it off would be nice once you are familiar. Cruise, throttles, pressurization. Oh, verify set landing elevation. I've not done that. There we are. Well, doesn't seem to be too much icing. It's only the amount of icing we've had since the start. Yes, I'd be having very much wanting the weather radar system on here. Oh my goodness, it's just not. Yeah, red and magenta. It's just not. It's very inaccurate. Oh, mosquitoes just flying in here. Why is there mosquitoes in here and it's goddamn January? How's the food service? It's excellent on Alpaca Executive. Only the best. JG77 Merton, hi bro, my MCDU is different than yours. The same game, same plane. Why? Because we have today the working title mod. You need to install the working title mod for your CJ4 citation. This is not the default one. Tail anti-ice, yes, not modelled unfortunately, but I did notice it did have that. We were discussing earlier, and I did see the switch just a second ago. We'll pop the seatbelt sign on, even though they should be on already.
May I have your attention, please? The captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. Please fasten your seatbelt and shoulder harness at this time. Thank you.
There you go. Does this plane have a yoke, or is it mouse only? Fantastic list of men. I've hidden the yoke because it's a little bit in the way. But the mouse, I haven't actually tested mouse flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh, God. Fingers crossed for the icing, guys. Yeah, speed's a bit low. I think the descent path they've got is a kind of a fixed angle. It's a little bit shallower, perhaps, than you get with an idle path descent, so I'm having to add thrust a few times, but the fact it's actually got any form of descent path is pretty good. I don't think this aircraft has windscreen wipers. Well, I surprised if it doesn't. So just get back at around 220 knots. So have Microsoft Flight Simulator toned it down a little bit? Because I'd expect to be a flying ice cube right now. I guess they might have turned it down a bit. At the moment, looking okay. So again, just to remind you, we're currently inbound to Echo Echo Foxtrot, just here. The NDB, which in hindsight I should have
50,
tuned.
40,
We're then going to be going
30,
to
20,
Nimley, Ogemi, Mene. I'll monitor that. I'll bring it up a few times on the approach to monitor the progress. Thanks a lot, James Z, for the $2. Can't wait for you to fly more Microsoft Flight Simulator in Canada. Thank you very much, buddy. It's very kind. I'm so sorry about the weather. We've not seen one. Well, actually, we're not going to Canada today. We're in Alaska technically, but I know the border is very close to Juneau. But yes, we'll definitely go to Canada, Alaska, around this area a little bit more. And it's just a shame the weather is so pants, but at least we're doing some proper winter ops. Jonas Carlson, if I know the right procedures and how to get the Zibo from A to B, do you think I'll be able to get a real 737 down the ground safely? Excellent question. Asked quite a lot on the channel. The Zibo mod on any desktop simulator will put you in a position where perhaps you could manipulate the automation, get it down to the runway, and perhaps perform an auto land. The actual landing technique in real life is very different. You can apply the same technique in the sim, but the actual feeling of muscle pitch memory is very different. Anything more than a 10 knot crosswind in a 7.3, you'd be in trouble. And the number one problem is, if you found yourself in the cockpit, you wouldn't actually know how to move the seat forward to reach the controls anyway. So yes, I've seen people with little or no experience in the simulator. You can certainly get a grasp of it, but desktop simulators are brilliant these days. You're never going to quite get that same level of immersion that you need, but they are very, very, very good. But the seat to the pants sensation is very different. But I'd be confident in taking a lot of the guys on the channel who I've known for a while, following it here, and popping in there, following the procedures, you know, manipulating the automation and the controls. So speed's just again dropping off, but again, I'm thinking 737 speeds here. I want to be doing 230 now. Remember, this is a lot slower. The initial approach speed, the V speeds were set, but 100 knots. So I've got my little PDF checklist for the approach here. So there you go, you can see approach and landing, 250 knots by 10,000, so it expects you to be going a little bit faster in descent here. I'm going very slow, but we go to 200 knots, placard speed limits for gear and flaps 15 is 200 knots, so I'm going to probably bring the speed back to 180, 160 before selecting flap 15, and then I'm going to figure gear flap 35. Alpaca exec, you've got it, Neil M UK. Right, well, I actually want to deselect the VOR here. If I can remember how to do it.
Altitude.
I know what, I forgot to set the QNH, I forgot to select lower altitude, I'm going to go down to 3,400. Where's VNAV? Going to get high otherwise. There we go. So just check the QNH. Now, it can be a bit funny in the sim. Remember, we've had it before where it differs from real life. That could be quite dodgy on an approach like this. 2937 I've got on the real METAR, and the sim is saying 2903. Oh, there we are. Just press again, 2936. There we are. So it is actually now matching the correct pressure setting. Yeah, so it was my fault. Wasn't paying attention. I've got to set standard. Do the post-cruise checks now. Engine wing anti-ice is still on because of reasons. Landing taxi will turn on. AP's off, pressurization. Managed to set fuel. We have 1,600 kilos. Is that fuel flow or fuel on board? No, fuel on board. I just added thrust to see if it changed. 1,600 kilos, and we need to divert 1,300. So, is it what? I thought I took a lot more fuel than that. Really? Or is that fuel burned? No, it's fuel used. I can't be. How do you see the actual fuel amount on board? Uh-oh, can't remember. Check's complete. There we are. And we're now on the approach, inbound to Nimley. We can go down to 3,400, which is the charted altitude just here.
Minimums approaching minimums.
And then we'll maintain that until we get to Ogemi. No, that is total fuel on board, 1,600. That is the fuel you have. Have I burnt a bit of extra fuel then? Because I took more than that. I'd expect to have a lot more. No, oh my goodness me, I'm losing the plot, guys. Ignore me. I was looking at the block fuel, the minimum block fuel, thinking that's what sorry, the fuel burns fine. Yeah, I was looking at the minimum block fuel for departure from Anchorage. We still have enough fuel to actually complete the flight again. Ignore everything I was saying. It's working perfectly. Yeah, we needed 1,300 to leave Anchorage. To divert to our alternate, we only need 500 kilos of fuel, so 250 either side, and that's our diversion fuel. We got enough fuel for at least an hour. Now, what do I want to do here? Just want to get rid of the VOR because that's going to get annoying. There we are. Perfect. So far, so good. We'll be landing, if the visibility's okay, we'll be landing in around 8-9 minutes, guys. Jonas Carlson, real pilot, can't even find out how much fuel on board. Yes, a 737 pilot, not a CJ4 Citation pilot. But yes, you're quite right, this is the amount of fuel you have on board. I wasn't too sure if it was the fuel remaining or the total burn fuel. Remember, the 737 burns 2.4 tons an hour, not whatever this burns. Now, inbound now to the initial fix point, Ogemi. And I'm going to turn the music off now. It's getting super busy. So, inbound to Ogemi, all looking good now. We're going to, once we get just before Ogemi, we can step down to 2,700, and then we'll have to maintain that until the final approach fix. Maxwell, K217 said go to Performance Flight Logic to check for fuel use. Thank you, very good. At least I know we've got plenty of fuel, that's what's important. Not so much the fuel used, but how much is in the tanks, but it is important to check the fuel use. But look at that, 3,400 right on top of Ogemi, which is actually to be at that height as well. So it just shows you the VNAV's working perfectly. I just hope the pressure's the same in the sim. Nice weather, guys. Ooh, look, there's a little bit of terrain. Hello again, Alaska. Oh, I can hear rain as well. Right. So I'm happy now. We usually went till a mile before, but I'm now going to step down to 2,700 feet. I think it's gone to constraint already, so do I have to push VNAV again? No, I don't. There we are. I think that just gets rid of the constraint. Now, it's got to slightly level off here, just to recapture that descent profile, so it's going to pitch up here, I think, because you can see the path's just updated to be slightly above us. We're only now 13 miles from touchdown, so I really want to slow down here. So I'm just going to get a speed brake out here, just to get the speed below 200 knots. And there's no auto throttle, so what I'm going to do is leave this at 200 knots, in case we have to go around. There we are. Oh, crikey, that is a very effective speed brake. I'm going to select the first notch of flaps, 15 degrees. Oh, it's leveled off. And we're still descending. You can see, look, we're inbound now to Mene, so we're approaching our descent point now. So what I'm going to do is set the minimums, which remember was, there you are, 1880, so I'm going to set 1900 feet on the altimeter. Verify VNAV path, VNAV path, there we are, and that should take us all the way down. Don't forget to push the approach button. I don't want to use the approach. Do you use that? Is that like an Ian approach? But I'd rather use VNAV because that's what I know, LNAV and VNAV. This is what we do in the 7.3. Very good. After Men 8, we're going to be routing to the missed approach point. Still not looking very good, guys. So final approach fix is at 8 miles. As soon as we pass Men 8, the final approach fix, which is 2,700 feet, I'll start configuring to land. Yes, gusting 25 knots the wind, I know.
Altitude.
That we know about, that's the minimum, so I want it to level off at that height. There's the final approach fix, so we're about 100 feet high. It's now pitching for the final descent path, so gear down. Landing flap. There's our V approach speed, 118 knots. There's a little angle of attack indicator coming in, so remember there's no auto throttle here. This could be interesting. So just adding that thrust manually to fly that V approach speed, 116. There we are. Inbound to the missed approach point. Oh, why is it not descending? Why is it not descending? Is that a bug? VNav. There you go. It leveled off. It didn't carry on descending. It's probably something I missed. A little bit of a dirty dive to get back onto the path. Nothing to see here. Oh, look at this weather, guys. Can't see anything. Oh, we're never going to get in. It's definitely not what the METAR's saying, that's for sure. Oh dear, the METAR says few clouds at 1400, broken at 3600. We should be seeing the ground now. This is not accurate at all. This is not the METAR. Approaching the minimums, guys. Oh, well, this ain't working. Right, here's minimums. 1900 feet. Aircraft will level off here. It's no good. Above the MDA, so we're okay. We'll carry on to the missed approach point for a short while, but we're going to get high now. And I see absolutely nothing. Too slow? No, speed's fine. Right on VAP. So that's it, guys. I mean, this is not depicting what the METAR's saying at all. This is inaccurate. METAR right now, 10 statute miles of visibility. Light rain, few at 1400, broken at 3600, broken at 7000. This is, there, you look at the METAR, guys. Yes, some light rain, but I mean, this is not what the METAR's saying. It's VMC down there. This is rubbish. So, I mean, I should be able to get in. Right, anyway, we're coming up to the missed approach point, so you can initiate go around now. And then just wait till Mulry to turn. So let's get everything set up for the missed approach here. 9,000 feet. And what I'm going to do is use heading select, because remember there's no missed approach programmed here in the waypoint. Let's just bugger heading around 300. Coming up to Mulry now. There we are. Right, so I don't know if go-arounds are modelled. I'm going to do it manually, have a bit of fun. So let's disconnect the autopilot.
Autopilot.
And I'm going to engage now. Heading select, flight level change, and add thrust. Oh look. There's the runway, but way too high. Look, there you are. So you know it's okay, but I can't get in from this position. We're too high. So there's the missed approach point. So I've basically set go around thrust, raise the gear. I'm winging this, remember, because there's no way to program the missed approach point. The runway is in sight, but you won't make it in from this point unless you do a really dirty dive. I'll select another notch of flaps. I'm going to now bug up 200 knots. Kind of... 305 knots? No. 200 will do. And what I need to do is select flaps up. This is completely non-standard, by the way. This is because I am not rated on this aircraft. I have no clue how to execute a go-around. There's the autopilot in. Just maintaining that heading 210 knots, and we're flying inbound to Mugs, that Mr. Approach waypoint. So it kind of helped me having this here. So we're going to update Mugs. Very important that you follow this accurately, otherwise you're going to hit a mountain, which we're still way below the MSA here. So this heading is fine for now. Let's quickly go down here. Mike, uniform, Golf, Zulu. Ah! Oh no! Oh yes! Execute. Direct. Mugs. Execute. Looks good. There we are. Let's go now to nav. There we are. So you can see here, all I've done is route direct to Mugs, and that's roughly following the missed approach point here. Right then, guys. So we're going to have a second attempt. Look at it climb. Approaching 9,000 feet. We're going to have a second attempt, okay? And
Altitude.
we're going to follow real-world SOPs, so we'll have a second go. It doesn't look promising. I mean, you probably want to hold and be talking to the tower to get an improvement on that weather. But as I said, the METAR, the weather in the game is not matching what the METAR's saying. You know, it's VMC. There's a bit of light rain and a few clouds, but you know, it's 10 statute miles of visibility. We should have at least seen more of the ground. So I need to go from Mugs to... let's go Mugs to Ogemi next. Actually, I probably can reselect the approach. Right, this is pretty tough because there's no auto throttle, so let's just take a bit of thrust off there. I'm going to have to keep one eye on the speed here. I need to quickly get something else in here because I've got nothing programmed after Mugs. And it's kind of working with an aircraft that's still in development, doesn't have all the features as well. Right, departure arrivals. RNAV, and it's going to be now not via Golmi, there we are. Execute, but after Mugs I want Ogemi. Mugs, Ogemi, superb. Execute. Look at that, I've reprogrammed the approach, so that's in here. So what we're doing, look, we're not actually completing the missed approach, we're going from Mugs to Ogemi, and to Ogemi you can go down to 3,400. So I'm happy now to reduce thrust again and set 3,400 feet. And we'll have another go. Fingers crossed the weather improves, and after the second missed approach we'll have a little chin wag. We can either divert, make the weather a little bit better so we can actually get into Juneau. We'll look at the different options available. Flight level change is going to be high here now. So obviously missed approach after takeoff checklist. All the rest of it there, but I'm just going to carry on flying there. Just going to use a little bit of speed brake as well. Engine wing anti-ice is still on. And we need to get back down to the approach. Guys, I hope you're enjoying that. Attempt number 2. At least from an educational perspective with the missed approach, I guess, but probably should carry on in this direction instead of shortcutting here, but no problem, sir. A little bit of relaxing music to calm me down. Go right, let's just get that speed below. Oh god, no. Where's my speed bug gone? Is that a problem with the mod? I've lost my speed bug. Could have some slight issues here. 180 knots, and we're in flight. Oh, we're in VNAV path. Ah, that's why. Right, I'm going to select flaps 15 again. Are you doing the RNAV approach or the LDA? The RNAV approach, it's the LDA approach has the minimums are another 2,000 feet higher. I'd have no chance. Yeah, that's why, Felix. Thanks. I didn't realise I was in VNAV. Right, back on profile at least. Ooh. There we go. Harold, at least in Juneau Harbour, it's very cloudy, visibility isn't great, but you should be better than what the sim is showing. Yeah, I'd love to see a webcam of Juneau right now. I'm going to assure you it's not this. I'm just looking at the METAR. I really want to get in there. Right, that's approach number 2. But I had to really kind of manipulate the automation here. we're going. And we go down to 2,700 now. Going at 1,700 instead of 1,900. I'm respecting the rules, minimums. So 1,900 is the minimums for this approach. We're doing it as realistically as possible. Can't go lower than that unless you're visual with the approach lights, or some element of the approach lighting system. So I think it blinks when you're approaching your waypoint. That's quite cool. Right, how do I zoom in a little bit here? Right, music off, music off, music off. Can't be. I can't remember how to zoom in. There we go. Right, approaching the final approach fix. We're just passing the initial fix there. So again, we'll wait till we're past Mene. Oh, God, I haven't got the missed approach point programmed in because it's missing. Alright, just remember 2.2 from runway 08. I don't have time now to get that programmed in. Have you ever crashed during a live stream? I have once, Andrew, in a Cessna... not Cessna, Seneca. We were trying to do a low pass at the runway with an external view, but I've never actually crashed any of the jets properly. We've got a clean record at Alpaca Airways. We've done a belly landing, not so recently, quite recently, sorry. Are you flaps down? Yes, got flaps at 15. That's checked. Right, approaching descent point. So same again, 1,900 feet. Verify VNAV's engaged. Yeah, it is. Right. Oh, I'm nervous. Maybe beaky again, yes. It's always good to... Nice cheating things to do in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Oh my, oh my. It's not as bad as this in real life. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator's real life weather. I mean, look, you can see the ground, but the actual forward visibility is rubbish. But attempt to. Let's see what we can see this time. Does Juneau look good in Microsoft Flight Simulator? I'd love to know, Nate. Right, there we are on our approach anyway. Just about to pass the Michelin approach fix. There's Mene. So there we are, past the final approach fix. Height checks, again about 100 feet high, but it is updated back on the path. But it doesn't seem to level off, it's going to do that again, look. So I think I did like on the first approach, I just have to resequence VNAV. Right, gear down, landing flap, use the same approach speeds. Where would you divert to? I have a plan in mind, it's to the north in Canada, but it'll take about half an hour to get there. I'd love to get in here, but we've got plenty of fuel, guys, reassessing the situation. We've got still over 45 minutes. We could do at least 3-4 more approaches, but from a realistic point of view, you'd have a go at 2 of the approaches, and if the weather hasn't really doubled or improved by twice as much, you'd be diverting. Or you'd at least go and hold for half an hour, wait for an improvement. Right, there's final approach speeds. Approaching our minimums again, 1,900 feet. It's looking exactly as it did before. Speed okay? Yeah, speed's fine. V approach. So remember, we don't have that missed approach point programmed. We're going to wait till 2.2 DME, which will represent the missed approach point. Yeah, a little bit low on speed here. So there's 1,900 feet. There's the minimums again. Still the same. I mean, I can't even see the ground now. I mean, I could carry on down the approach, but that would be a little... I'm getting low on speed now, though. I could carry on down the approach, but I'd be very foolish to, and it'd be illegal, so there we are. 2 out of 2 guys not looking good. And we're going to have a vote, guys. We'll do the full missed approach now. We're going to do the full missed approach. I'll do what I had to do because it's not programmed in. I'm going to go to chill. We'll enter the hold at the missed approach fix, and then we'll do a little poll, vote, and decide what to do. Just send it and carry on. You know how realistic I like to make these streams, though. I'm doing it exactly as you would do in real life. can't go below your minimums until you've got some visual element of the approach lights on a not MPA. And we've got absolutely nothing. There's a bit of the ground, but I need to see the approach lights. And they're going to be way below us again. We need to wait till 2.2 DME for the missed approach point, which is at Mulry. There we are. And we're going to be too high now. Look, oh my goodness me, look. Whatever, you only live once. I'm disconnecting. Oh no, I've lost them. Right, the approach light's in sight, boys and girls. We're going to be high though. We're going to be high.
Minimums.
Continue. I can see the approach lights. Oh, right at the missed approach point, which is at 2.2 miles. Can you see it, guys? And that's what you need, some element of the approach lighting system, but we're going to be high. Look at that. That is very sketchy, though. I'd probably... It's a very unusual approach with the fact that you stay at your minimums for so long until the missed approach point there. But I've purposely put myself quite high by doing this. But we're okay. Oh no, I've lost the runway lights. Oh, right. If this happened in real life, I'd immediately execute a go around. Yeah, I've lost them. So right now, if you lose sight of them, that's it. You've got to go around straight away. This is bad. Right, screw it. I've got to go around, guys. I can't see you. I'm going to hit a mountain again. No, it doesn't matter. I've executed the go around. You saw the lights come in sight. Too late, and it's the missed approach point. I can't leave it any longer. Wow. Right, go around, gears up. So, if you have the approach lights in sight, great, but if you lose sight of them again, gotta go around. Especially when you're below minimums.
50, 40, 30,
so
20,
you gotta. It's a very,
10.
very risky going around below your minimums. You might not guarantee your performance
I
there.
really need to be in Juneau now, sir. Tears of joy, tears of joy.
Right. This is a very sketchy winging it go around as well because I've got nothing coded. Right, selecting one notch of flaps. Just going to level off to accelerate here. Let's get to a safer speed, that's better. Flaps up. Right, again, 9,000 feet. Whoa, look at that nose going up. Oh, you don't want to be going higher than 20. Look at the performance though. We've got... Alright. That was so close. Oh yeah, I'm struggling with the old dial knob thing. Increase altitude. Thank you. This is a real mess.
Altitude. Altitude.
Right. Let's get that to 9,000. Flight level change. Heading select, matched heading. So heading, and we're in flight level change. Right, autopilot in. Oh, it's nowhere near in trim yet. Come on. Well, where have I've lost flight level change? There we are. Oh my goodness, it's not in trim at all. I was really struggling to trim this out. Whoa!
Altitude.
I was two nose down, but now it's... I keep losing flight level change, look. I'm following the flight directors, but they're not giving me the right guidance. Right, let's fly the plane first. Let me just level off here, because I don't know if it's a bug, but every time I push flight level change, I'm losing it, or if it's my lack of knowledge on this aircraft. Let's go to 9,000. We're on a good heading. Heading towards the missed approach point. Oh, there's a level burst. Yeah, that's a bust level as well. You know what to do in chat. Oh, I can't get this thing in trim. Alright, ignore the flight directors. Right. She's nicely in trim now, finally. 9,000. Let's go. Flight change. 196 knots. Heading select. Autopilot in. Oh, that's why. Because I still had the bar down. I had the bar down. That's why. But no, it's not levelling off at Line 0. Why is it not level off? I don't know if it's broken or if it's me.
Autopilot.
Let me I just want to level off and get the heading in. This is very embarrassing. I don't know why it leveled off there. It's in flight level change now. Let me just turn everything off. Flight directors as well. No, let's not turn my flight directors off. Why are they coming back on? I can't get rid of the flight directors. The flight directors are nonsense. Right, altitude hold. Do we have that as a mode? Or vertical speed, something basic. There we go, vertical speed. Right, there we go, out capture. Oh, thank you, lovely, beautiful, accurate flight directors. But they're not. The flight directors are not giving me what I want. I'm in VNAV. How do I deselect VNAV? Outpath. So this is what happens when you're not rated on an aircraft. Turn off VNAV. VNAV, thanks guys. How would I have the capacity to look at chat? Now I'm really... I need to adjust my heading here. And that... I hope they get the missed approach... the missed approach programmed and working ASAP. Right, I'm just going to go direct to chill, which is the missed approach point. That was
50,
hairy.
40, 30,
My
20,
oh my.
10.
So VNAV doesn't disengage, or how I engaged it I don't know, because I had it not selected. I think that was still from the approach. Thanks a lot, Tal, for the 10. Please land the plane so I can go to sleep. I'm working on it. I am working on getting this thing on the ground. Don't you worry about that. Oh, this is a nightmare. Right, flight plan. Next page. I thought we were in. And then all of a sudden I lost sight of the approach lights. It's so close. No, it doesn't like that one, does it? Let's at least get to the missed approach point here.
50,
Execute.
40, 30,
Right.
20,
That's going to take us to the missed
10.
approach point. Let's go to nav. Okay, right, we're now routing to the missed approach fix.
Is this a bad time? Asking
Very
for
bad.
a friend. If we divert, then do the bar and toilets open again.
Thank you very much to Paul Clark for the £5. This is a bad time. Asking for a friend. If we divert, then do the bar and toilets open again. Yes, they will do. Oh dear, this is the worst weather conditions I've ever had in this sim. Right, anyway, we're going inbound to chill. That's 7 miles away. Let's see if the hold function now works, and then we're going to have a little chin wagging discussion of what we're going to do next, because if the weather was like it is now, with this amount of fuel, you can have approaches all day, but there's a point at which you've got to actually go, you know what, we're not going to get in, let's divert. The aircraft's doing a good job of maintaining 9,040 feet. So let's try this hold function, if I can actually work out how to do that, and then I can actually have a little bit of a breather to work out what's going on. So performance, let's go to flight. How on earth do you hold? I did see it. Is it for reloading the weather to see if it updates properly? How do I do that, Andy? This is really entertaining though. IDX then hold. Thank you. Chill is 155. Oh, we're already overhead it. Look, 155 left turns. Four miles. It's actually 7 mile legs. Execute. It's doing it. Look at that. Oh, I hope it is. So here's the hold. Look, 155 left-hand turn, 7 mile legs, and it's depicted it on the ND. It'll be interesting to see what it's doing, but so long as it's sort of holding around there, it's depicted it correctly on the chart with the picture. Oh my. Guys, I think it's time we do a little straw poll to decide our next plan of action. Now, what I'll do, I'll vote 3 things. 1, a third approach, which would be unprofessional of me, but fun. 2, improve the weather so we get to Juneau. Or 3, divert. I'll put those as the options. I fear it will be a third approach, but I really want to get
50,
into Juneau.
40,
The stream is,
30,
I said to me, the stream will be about
20,
2 hours long. It's 2
10.
hours 40. But yeah, it's working. Now I think what it should be doing a kind of like a parallel entry. It'll be interesting to see what it's doing from this position. Keep an eye on it. I think it's try. I entered it in, put it in a little bit late, but it looks like it's doing a parallel entry. Thanks, Dave, for the £1.80. Use the toga button next time when going around. That would be some excellent advice. Oh, it's getting really turbulent here as well. Look at this. Yes, toga's that one, isn't it? I even knew that. Oh dear. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you only 3 options. A fuel situation is fine. We still need 500 kilos to divert, and we've got 1,400. So we can sit here for another 45 minutes to an hour easily. Really could. I don't have all that time. So I'm just going to quickly generate a straw poll to decide our next plan of action. I'm just going to watch the speed here as well. It's blinking at me, top of descent at everything. Oh dear. Well, as long as there's an altitude hold and nav, it shouldn't be going anywhere. So create a poll. Plan of action, I'll call it. Answer options. Third approach. Improve weather. Improve weather. Get in. And divert to our alternate, which is... White Horse in Canada, White Horse International Airport, which is a 35-minute flight time away. Please be the second one. That's what I want it to be. Oh dear, allow multiple choices. Yeah, I'll allow multiple choices. Create poll. Right, I'll share it now. And I'll pin it to the top as well. So... in chat here is all the options for our next plan of action whilst we're... oh my goodness, where are we going? I'm just going to monitor this hold here. There we are, I've just put it here. I'm going to pin it as well before I lose it in chat. Pin message, I'll pin that for there. So right at the top there you can make your choice on what we're going to do. You've got around 3 minutes to decide. I'll wait until it... oh, it's actually doing an okay job. Look, we're now in the left turn inbound to chill, I think.
50.
We'll then decide
40,
our plan of action what to do.
30.
This could be
20,
quite interesting.
10.
I've not seen any beautiful sky or ground. Getting very tired. Thanks whoever that was. Michael Fullerton for the £5. Very kind. Hope you're enjoying this stream. I'm doing my absolute hardest to get you on the ground safely, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy I didn't take standard fuel. But this METAR, I cannot stress enough, guys, this METAR is fine. It's VMC. There's... looking at the updated weather now, it's fine. 10 statute miles, light rain, broken at 3,400. The weather we're getting in the sim is not accurate at all. Oh my goodness, neither is the ability of this aircraft to maintain altitude. Get back to 9,000. There we are. So yeah, it's interesting to let's have a look. I'm going to refresh the poll here. What's the results so far? Look how tight it is. Improve weather and get in. That's everyone. That's the correct option. Option yes. Improve weather and get in. Keep voting, guys. It is a democratic channel, but I could easily turn dictator and decide the option. I tell you what. I could even. Oh, I think it's doing an okay job holding. The fact it can actually hold at a waypoint is pretty impressive. But it's a little untidy, but very, very good. We could sort of have 2 options. I could do the option where we improve weather, or perhaps what I could do is fly the approach the 3rd time, and if it is looking really sketchy at minimums, level off at 1900, and I'll improve the weather that way. I mean, if I was in the Zebo mod, because we fly that all the time, I'd be very much aired along the lines, right, what we do at my operator now, we'd be looking at the weather holding, looking at our options, we need an improvement at least twice of what it is, and divert. But I don't fly this aircraft every day. I do genuinely want to show an approach to completion. I know it's unrealistic with the weather, but the weather in the sim is unrealistic, so yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll have a look here. So it is, you guys, I love you. You're all listening to me. Putting on my request. Yeah, deal, look, deal. 3rd approach, then improve weather. I like you guys. I think that's a fair justification of the situation. And if it was active sky or anything like that in X-Plane in the Zebo mod, we'll be doing something else there. So let's see what happens. Ooh, look at the altitude. Well, I have to say, just to divert off topic here, what a fantastic aircraft that with working title of Maze. I mean, you can obviously see there's some features missing, but with my limited knowledge on this aircraft, I mean, I have enough brain power to sort of get it safely from A to B. But fantastic, fantastic aircraft. Yeah, 180 knots to the hold here. Yeah, yeah. Well, we're okay. We're a bit fast now. Right. Anyway, let's crack on and put another approach in here. Just keeping an eye on our speed. So departure approach. It's going to be on 08 Victor. I'm going to reselect it via Gumley. Execute. Legs. There's the hold. Fantastic. Now I'm going to route direct to... Oh, it's so bumpy. Oh, we're missing the arrival here. Yeah, definitely want Gumley. Okay, that's fine. I can rebuild the rest. So let's just go to legs here. Execute. Route direct to... I don't want to route... I want to route direct to Gumley first. So I'm just going to type that in manually. It's a little bit broken, I think, from the missed approach look. G... Golf... Uniform, Mike... Lima... Echo... No... Oh, where's my Zebo mod? Where's my 7-3? Where's clear? Gumley, thank you. Gumley to Mugs. I'm just going to go execute now. Let's exit hold. Oh, where are we going? Gumley. I don't know. It's in roll mode. Did it work? LNAV turn? No, it's not. They're going away from Gumley here. This is not good. This is not good. At least I'm above the MSA. That's the saving grace here. I can't increase the range. Oh, it's, the turbulence is so annoying. Right, I need to go left to Gumley here. Why is that not going? Oh, the turbulence is really annoying. There we go. Ah! Execute. Oh, it doesn't like this at all, guys. I might have broken it. Let's try direct to Ogemi. I think that's okay. That's executed. Ah, it's not working though. How do I get this out of blue? Forget to exit hold. Ah, I thought I just did like in the 7.3. If you line select key and remove the hold, it would get it out the hold. Oh dear. Now where on earth was that? Right. Let's just maintain 9,000 for now. That is safe. We're above the MSA. Getting Airbus flashbacks. Thanks. How on earth do I get out the hold here, guys? We're out that. Well, this is. Blue line is from my heart. My heart can't take this. Think about me. Ah. Oh. Why is that blue? IDX hold, thanks. It's not there. It's not there. Let's try direct. Oh dearie me. Right, I'm just going to do a little left turn here because we're going to end up too high. Or right turn, it doesn't matter. But just sort of like hold. We're basically what we're doing here, we're self-positioning above the MSA. Where's the mouse plug-in? Oh dear indeed. Oh no! I did an Airbus thing. I pushed that thinking it was heading select. Right. So if we go on the outbound track of the whole 335, we're not at chill anymore, but it'll be good enough because the fact is, if you're above the MSA is 8,400. You know, it is safe to self-position. Ideally, you want to be under radar control, which isn't always the best, but you know you're not going to hit anything here. This is me very close to maximum capacity. But I don't know what I'm missing here. Right, let me just try one more time to get to Gumley. Golf uniform Mike. I'm going to get you on the ground, guys, one way or another. Don't you worry about that.
50, 40,
Have a drink on me and
30,
drown the sorrows. Thanks,
40,
Joseph.
10.
Oh.
Have a drink on me and drown the sorrows.
Yes. Thank you. Right, Gumley is in. Gumley, then direct to Mene. I don't want that. Oh, Gumley direct to... After the Gumley transition. So, Gumley. Execute. Thank you very much, Joseph. What's my speed? 100, 200 knots. Perfect. Gumley. That's the one. Am I in business? I think I am. Direct, Gumley, execute, nav. Please turn left. Yes! Yes! I've won! Well, we're not on the ground yet, but I'm happy we got this far. Right, so let's remind ourselves, where are we in the world? Thank you, Navigraph, for this. It'd be very useful. To me, but you've got a Gumley here. We could go down to 7,500. We're only 3 miles away, so I'm happy to go down to 3,400 in this case. This is very sketchy. If you're a line pilot watching this, or you're in your ATPL theories, this is beyond... I'm doing it as safely as I can and legally as I can, but it's very, very challenging. Right, idle thrust. Down we go. Whew. Guys, if you are enjoying watching a 737 captain absolutely pressurised to the max, trying his best to get you safely on the ground within the realms of legality in a desktop simulator, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button, subscribe as well to stay up to date with the latest fun content. Chris Curtin, not sure if I ever want to fly again. There we are. But so far so good. I've done everything on approaches as legally as I possibly can, respected minimums. We were visual with the runway very briefly, and then we lost it. So if you lose sight of it, but you've got to be very careful then. We hadn't actually passed the missed approach point, but we were below the minimums. But you know, go around, head off in the west, you know, where the terrain's safe,
40,
and you're grand.
30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Romsey, for the £2. Snakes on a plane made this look much easier. My goodness, thank you. Oh dear, oh dear. VNAV, yes. You're quite right. Now, how's it actually... Oh, look, there's actually generated a top of descent point, but what's that altitude based off, I wonder? But you're quite right. If I go VNAV, that is going to reduce my workload. It might level us off here. Yes, it will, because we're below the profile. That's okay. We have a safety altitude of 3,400 feet, but we'll leave it there. That means when it re-intercepts the path,
50,
we'll descend
40,
to 3,400.
30,
Added thrust to maintain
20,
around 200 knots, but
10.
actually I want to bring the speed back to around 180.
It is a challenging approach. 08 is worse with the mountains right behind the airport. Is this live weather?
Apparently.
Winking face, it's nice weather right now in Juneau.
Oh, thank you very much, App Kerman, for the $5. It's a challenging approach. 08 is worse with the mountains right behind the airport. Is this live weather? It's nice weather right now in Juneau. Thank you very much, App Kerman. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator's interpretation of a METAR, and I'm telling you, as I've read the METAR, this is not right. I'm very certain that I'd be able to get into Juneau based off the METAR. We've cracked on with 2 approaches. First approach was not visual. The second approach we were visual, and checking now, and I'll unpin the straw poll. I'll actually look at what the option was divided, but I think we agreed a sort of halfway house. You actually did vote. Number 1 vote was improve weather and get in. That's great. So we're going to go in. Second best option was divert, and the third one was third approach. So we'll compromise. We're going to fly a third approach. Hold on. Are we going inbound to Ogemi? Active waypoints Gumley. That's why you need good situational awareness. Don't take your eye off the ball for 1 second, guys, because the aircraft is not going where I want it to. This is getting even better. Why are we not going to Ogemi? I think I've broken it. How do I've broken it, guys. Now, if I can't get the approach in properly, we're in real trouble. Because I need LNAV. Why are you not taking me to Ogemi? The FMS is pretty fragile right now. Thanks, K270. What I do to have you sat by right by me. I'm going to have to do is a heading select, which is forbidden because it's an RNAV approach which requires LNAV, so you have to use LNAV. Right, I'm going all out. I'm going to use heading select. Now this is beyond illegal. You can't. I know there's an LPA approach, but I'll never see the runway here. Right. Well, at least I'm getting VNAV seems to be working, but I'm hopefully going to find some bug fixes for them. Maybe flying multiple approaches hasn't pleased it, but direct, OGEMI, execute, and the active waypoint is still Gumley behind us, and I wonder what we could do here. You know what? I'm flying a visual approach, and I'm very sorry guys, but the mod's a bit broken. I want to enjoy a little bit of a nice scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator, if you don't mind, and it's been very fun up to this
50,
second to have flown
30,
an approach
20,
in IMC as realistic as possible. I don't want you to think I'm giving up, because I'm not giving up, but the
Lovely menu this evening. PE soup with bread and a knob of butter. All credit to Alpaca Executive Airways. More fun up and down than Walton Towers.
That's very kind. Thanks a lot, Paul Clark. That's very kind of you. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream, and thank you very much for your donation there, buddy. That was very, very kind. Look, I don't want you guys to think I'm giving up, because I'm not giving up. The fact is, I know the weather here is fine to get in, and it's just a little bug with the game. The reason I've gone live is because there's obviously a slight issue here with the FMS. It's not updating, so I can't fly this approach accurately. I'm not happy flying an RNAV approach without LNAV. I need LNAV to fly it legally and correctly, so I'm going to fly visually, just enjoy the scenery as well. So I'm just going to line myself up with the final approach track and go from there. Oh, why have I... the pressure's gone to standard. How do I reset the QNH? Oh, I know why. It's because the gone live. They've turned the weather off. Dope. Right. Well, there's a notch of flaps. Try live a second time. Well, I could do. Have you just look at that? Look how accurate I'm flying that in heading select. You've got to be impressed. I'll go live weather very briefly just to show you. It's just the same, guys. I mean, the problem is I can't fly the approach accurately in heading select, so yeah, I'll fly a nice visual. You want me to? Hold on, I'm a bit high now. Gear and flaps. That's such a shame. Let me. I'll tell you what, I'm not flying this at all correctly, but just for you guys. Well, I don't even have the distance. I can't fly it accurately in live weather because I don't have any information about the approach.
Autopilot.
Get rid of the flight directors. I need to deselect VNAV, don't I? There we are. So yes, you actually have to turn that off. So yeah, the reason I would love to do live weather, I really would, but I can't get the approach reprogrammed into the FMS, so it'd be very difficult to fly that. I'm going to go down to the minimums though, which were 1800, and see what it actually looked like. And if it is still looking a bit sketchy at that point, I'll go back to these weather conditions. I'm a little bit high here anyway, so just keep it descending now. It was so close. That second approach we flew was so close. Need to press line select 2, not 1.
50,
direct on
40,
legs.
30,
Oh really?
20, 10.
Thanks, plain old Ben. Too late now.
Need to press line select 2, not 1 to DCT on legs.
Let me just go live briefly. Oh, look how close it is. Oh, there's the approach light. So had we actually got the...
Minimums.
Had we actually got the approach in? I think this second approach is looking much better. Oh, that's such a shame. That's such a shame. Oh, I can just about see the approach lights. So what did you say? Need to press line select 2, not 1 for the direct. Oh, this is difficult now. Direct. Then line select key 2. No. Didn't do it on 2, Ben. Anyway, look. Had I actually got the approach in correctly, I reckon I would have gone in. I'm really annoyed with that. I'm really annoyed because we would have got in off the third approach. Just. Probably going to lose the approach lights now. Yeah, the live weather, that live weather is not right, I know. Well, we'll keep using it now, as long as I can see the runway. On the legs page, oh, Ben, it's too late now. So if I put runway 08 to here, no, it just says Gumley, Ben, look. I'll do it again. I can't really do this much longer though. Execute. It's broken, look, it still says Gumley. I can't do any more, Ben, look, I've been too busy heads down. I should not be doing that flight manually. Oh dear. Right, I'm going to have loads of comments on this video afterwards. I'm very embarrassed with everything, how it's gone. If I'd actually got that approach, if I'd actually gotten it in, I think we could have gotten away with getting in on that third approach. Right, surface winds around 14 knots, slight crossing from the right. Approach speed's good, a little bit high still.
500.
Let's press after this. Thanks, lucky out. Right, runway's in sight. But what a mod. I'm sure those little issues will be fixed ASAP. A little bit high, a little bit fast. Just around 1,000 feet per minute. It flies very nicely. Red light. Now, what lighting system's this? Well, it's one red light. God, the visibility is just right on limits. Looking good. Ooh, where's my red out call outs? Close. A lot lower than the 7.3. Ooh, a bit of a balloon. The aircraft's really. I think this is a Microsoft Flight Simulator thing that's very slow at decelerating. Oh, what a butter though. God, look at that. Did you see that? I don't think there's any reverses on this. And we're down. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome for the first ever time, Juneau, in a live stream. Oh my, what a flight. What a flight. Well, I didn't crash into the side of a mountain, that was the main thing to achieve. And we're here. I mean, look at the terrain, look at the mountain there. Just default scenery here, I'm afraid. Can you share a map of the flight history? I don't think you can in Microsoft Flight Simulator, unfortunately. I don't know if Sim Toolkit Pro records that, though. Right. We've vacated. What a flight. Wing anti-ice I've been on continuously. It's not how you'd use it in the 7.3, but never mind. Landing lights off, strobe lights off. Oh dear. Let's just taxi to stand. I need a stiff drink. Are we alive? Just about. Yeah, really enjoyed flying it. Challenge, but really enjoyed flying it. I think I broke a Microsoft Flight Simulator because I've reloaded the weather. Look, it still says 2992 at sea level, so we're actually live weather, but the pressure's standard. So let's go find ourselves a nice little parking spot. Off the taxi line there. It does look beautiful, the sim. Just stock Flight Simulator. Oh look, there's some jets to go park next to. I don't know where the taxi line is. Very hard to judge. There's a little road here for ground traffic. Let's go on here. Right, what have I missed on the taxi inflow? Flaps are up. I didn't use speed brakes on landing either. Oops. Very good. Milan, I'm glad you loved the CJ4. It was, yes. I'm really disappointed though that I had an issue with the FMS. I mean, I think Ben was implying I might have done something wrong there, but it did look very bugged. It probably didn't help that we flew multiple approaches. It looks like it's all still in the FMS there.
50,
I'm going to park between
40,
these two BizJets here.
30,
Excellent, Andy.
20,
Just want to tell you good luck.
10.
We're all counting on you. Now, that quote I do know is from Airplane. Thank you.
Just want to tell you good luck, we're all counting on you, tears of joy.
Thanks, that, and for the tears of joy. It's hard to see where we can park. It's so covered in snow. No marsh, unfortunately. You can see the sun's just dipping below the horizon as well. It doesn't get very high this time of year. Well, I'm just going to park straight on here. The chat had all the answers, probably Smoky 10, but it's very hard to hand fly an aircraft you're not type rated on within legal rules and procedures and everything. Oh, what have you done to the dog, Mariana? Ah, Mariana, my partner, has put on a Jack's dog scarf. He looks absolutely ridiculous. Dog jacket. It's a Labrador. Does not need a dog coat. Unbelievable. Right. Yeah, look, I mean, I've got Gumley. Someone said put that to line select key 2 left. It probably would have worked. Look. Execute. So I had absolutely no capacity, but had I actually done that, it would have worked. My, that's very frustrating. Oh, and I reckon I could have gotten in off the second approach there. Right, well, I know there's a little checklist here, isn't there, for taxiing and everything. I've just taxied on here. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I'm still trying to do everything as we should. Let's do the all engine go around. That would have been useful after landing. Seat brakes, flaps up, pitot static heat off. I always come off. Ice protection systems off. Radar standby. Exterior lights as required. That's it. Alright. Well, imagine the external power's connected. Let's shut her off. Which I reckon is something to do with pushing these buttons. Yes. They spool down nice and quickly. Master cautions and master warnings. Oh my, oh my. How do I turn the anti-con off again? Oh, it's down here. Taxi beacon. Leave the nav on. There we are. There. We got down. We got down. What a streak. I'm exhausted after that. But it was very good fun. Very, very good fun indeed. I'll have a little look at the chat here. Butter. It was good. Yeah, Ben, you're playing on Ben. Your points were valid. You were quite right, but you could see, look, my capacity. I was maxed out. I'm hand flying this aircraft on an approach, trying to change weather conditions, interact with chat. I'm overall quite happy with how I flew it, though. Very good. Angle attack gauge was on. I did notice, Aaron. Runway not in sight. It wasn't there for a while. Almost there. We could do it. I'm positive. I really didn't enjoy changing the weather, though. You know how much when I stream, I really want to be nailing all the procedures. Chase stick to heads down, stay down. Unbelievable. Love me some of these comments here. Brilliant. Got the butter, though. That's important. Can you share a map of flight history? I'll have a look there. I think you can. TripAdvisor recommends a burger at Pucker Wilson's just around the corner. I've never heard of that. You should try the Unreal Weather live METAR mod next. Yes, I mean, I'll look at the METAR one more time here. Right now, visibility is 10 statute miles on the airfield. Let's have a look here. I should say that's about, well, not that. 3, 4, maybe. I mean, 10 statute miles would imply it's more than 10. Light rain, yes. Few at 1700, yes. But broken at 3400? I'd say that's more like broken at 600. Overcast at 3000, I don't know. Yeah, but it does look amazing. And just because... Let's have a look at what it would look like if it was a beautiful day here. Wow, look at that. So, if we come back in the summer, this is what it should look like. Very nice how the snow effects work in the game. Very impressed. And there she is. Yeah, more like broken. Yeah, great shame. Well, within the confines of the rules and the weather conditions we had, I think the first two approaches went very nicely. Thank you very much for allowing me to improve the weather based off a more realistic weather situation. But guys, go check this aircraft out. I think I've done enough to show you how good it is. It's really, really well done. I'd never even heard of the team until a few days ago. Downloaded it the first time yesterday, practice sector here, and yeah, obviously there's a few features missing. Within the confines of a desktop simulator, there's probably I'm not type rated on this aircraft, so there's a lot I don't know what is not there and what is yet to be included, but I had enough basic knowledge to get it from A to B reasonably safely, and very sketchy. Like, but the go arounds, I kind of just did my own thing. I didn't exactly know how to engage the modes. The FMS worked quite nicely. It seemed to hold okay. The VNAV system, although basic, works quite well. So yeah, go check it out. Completely free, guys. I mean, you can't go wrong. That's why I love flight simulation community. You've got so many people working to provide good content. I mean, not just like YouTube guys like us, but the people that make the aircraft there. Absolutely crazy that you can get something as good as this for free. So yeah, go check the devs out. They've got a Discord. They've got on the GitHub, they've got all the updates keeping you posted with what to do, so go check it out. And I hope you enjoyed the stream. We'll be sure to jump into this aircraft again very soon. It's the best jet by far now. I mean, I know there's the fly-by-wire project as well with regards to Airbus, and that's coming along nicely as well. I prefer this because it's not Airbus. Wicked. Well, there's no replay unfortunately, so I'll tune out now with the music. As ever, thank you to everyone that tuned in today. I think we had over 900 people at watching one point, which is absolutely awesome. So thank you very much to everyone that took part. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new to the channel to stay up to date with the latest Microsoft Flight Simulator X-Plane 11 streams as well. And as ever, stay safe in these torrid times. And thank you very much to everyone that donated today. That was very kind. Take care, Ollie, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye for now.